Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
First-time
Caller.
First-time caller.
After downloading the free Discord app, use the invite link in the description or scan this QR code with your phone to be taken to the Beyond Wednesdays Discord server.
First-time listener, long-time caller.
There you will see the Modern Comic Mayhem category on the left with the call-in waiting room. Join that call-in waiting room, set up your camera and your mic, and have your questions ready.
Call me now!
It looks like I'm there, bro. That was the after party, bro.
Oh, man.
Hey,
His
dude.
eyes.
She done, I felt hair on my tongue, dude. She ain't got no hair problem, bro.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Thanks for hanging out. You guys, we're doing this a little early, a little different. It's going to be an interesting show tonight. We've got Sean from Comics Elite coming to join us. There has been a ton of talk lately over the AI comic book art and whether it should be used, whether it's being used, how do we know it's being used? It's very interesting. We've been talking about the AI stuff on this channel for a long time, ever since Confessions of Man or something like that. I think it was. What was I forget the original AI book. Chat, let us know. But it was an interesting book, and we keyed in on it. We reached out to the publisher. The publisher came on and talked to us about it. I thought it was an interesting thing, and you know, AI art has just blown up. AI everything has blown up. You know, Chat GPT, AI art. They're using it to make songs. Hell, I even heard our boy Killer Keemstar doing the like 5 different songs the other day. So it's kind of interesting how it's being used, and it's really blown up lately because it's in our little tent pole of the hobby. It's really blown up lately because we're seeing it being used more and more in comic books, and especially cover art. And Sean recently had keyed in on some very interesting things about AI art and comic book AI art, and it started this fire, man. And we're going to get into it tonight. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're also just going to talk about him. This is my first time bringing Sean on the show, so it's going to be very cool doing that. We also got a market report like normal, you guys, our normal market report. Lots of goodies on there. Stick around for there. I hope you guys enjoyed the music selection before the show. The sesh, it was a hot one today, you guys. 111 while I was sitting out there, you guys. Crazy. So, but it's necessary. It's necessary because that's what the show is, you guys. This is just a show where we kick back and we enjoy ourselves. We talk comics. We talk about all the craziest and this and that's out there. And then I'm going to bring all you guys on. I'm going to bring all the co-hosts back. We're going to do a roundtable We're going to talk about what you guys think. So you guys can always call into the Discord. The Discord is open if you guys want to call in during the show. But, of course, call in when we're ready for it. So that being said, let's go ahead and bring in our guests. Sean, how you doing, brother?
Hey guys,
So,
what's up?
yeah.
You didn't want to hear what I said anyways, boring.
Yeah. Again, the session was a little too crazy today. It was a hot one. But
cool.
yeah, so anyways, you just came back from vacation. You went to New Orleans. You had a good time for the 50th, which is great. You guys go check out what he posted about that stuff. You've got, you know what's interesting? I think that Facebook has become this very interesting thing for the comic book industry because you can get in touch with a lot of people in the industry that are movers in the industry, more so on Facebook than on Instagram and on Twitter, I think. Would you agree?
Yeah, Facebook is more, I feel like Facebook is like the Gen X hangout. You know, that's where all the cool kids hang out and play. You know, Twitter, man, it feels a little too drama to me. I mean, I started selling comics on Facebook, so I fostered, you know, comic friends and other comic people for, you know, I've been doing live sales on there for like 7 years now. So, Facebook is huge for me. And some people claim Instagram is great for comics. It has a great comic community on there. I just don't like Instagram, the platform. I'm too old to use it, I guess. I can't figure it out, wrap my brain around it. But yeah, Facebook to me, man, is just, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that there's even new things. I'm jumping on this whole Discord bandwagon right now, which is pretty crazy. But you brought up the live streaming part and how you started on Facebook. You're one of the first guys that I know of to start live streaming sales. How long ago did you start doing your live streaming sales?
Oh man, it's been like 7 years ago. You know what I like is in Facebook, it gives you like on this day 7 years ago. And I keep seeing old shows that I did. I mean, I started as a fan just going to cons, you know, and then I would post on Facebook to kind of show off all the stuff I got. And people would message me, oh man, do you have another one of those? Can you get me one of those? And, you know, next thing you know, I got a laundry list of things to pick up for people. And then I wound up hiring somebody to help me carry shit around. And I was like, guys, I got to at least charge you. Can you throw me a bone here? Like, can you give me $5 for picking this thing up for you? And then, you know, one thing turns into another. And then I'm live streaming from when Facebook, I mean, way back in the day, they didn't have the live feature. You know, you could even reply to a comment on Facebook way back in the day.
Yeah.
So when they went live, I was like, oh man, this is a great way to show this guy's booth to a bunch of people at the same time. And I'd go live and I'd have somebody watching and taking notes on the side. They want this print, they want this sketch, they want this whatever. And that just keep growing and growing and growing from there. At one point, man, I would go live and then I would have, within a minute, I'd have like 150 people watching the stream. Just, you know, literally wanting to throw money at me for comics. What do you got? What's hot now? What con are you at? You know, and that turned into me opening the store because I never wanted to own a store. I just need somewhere to keep all my crap. You know, I ran out of room.
Yeah. So how long has Comics Elite been around? Did you start it then, or was it around before you were selling live?
Oh man, that's a torrid story. Long story short, back in the day, groups were all the rave on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. Your group was sacred to you. Right.
Yes.
Like I was in Nick's Comics auctions. And there was another one, Comic Book Lovers, that's still around today.
Yep.
And there was a couple other groups. Well, I got frustrated trying to sell in the groups because there's problems with Facebook. You know, if you make a post in a group and someone else does, it gets bumped down right away. So next thing you know, you put all this work into making a post, hours of work, bro, into making a post. And you're getting bumped by, you know, dude laying out comics on a stained bed mattress. And you're like, come on, man. So I reached out to a couple other guys. And I said, hey, man, let's all leave our respective groups and start our own group. And the big scandal was only we're allowed to sell in the group. Because every group at the time was like, it was open, buy, sell, trade. Anybody could post in there. We'll leave all of our groups. We'll start this one group and we'll call it Comics Elite. Because we're like the top 4 sellers and we had standards for our sales. You know, they had to look a certain way. You know, collect payment, blah, 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 because none of those things were in place. Well, there was a falling out between some of the other guys in the group. When I opened the store, one of the guys got really pissed at me because he's like, I sell modern books. That's my thing. Now you're stepping on my toes selling modern books. And I'm like, I'm opening a store, bro. Of course I'm going to sell modern books.
Yeah.
Another guy just got savagely jealous out of nowhere. I had some
It's very interesting. It's very interesting, our hobby, bro. We have this 40-year-old baby syndrome in our hobby.
Yes.
It seems to be a lot of them.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, some people just can't wait to watch you fail, So it was, so long story short, they all wound up leaving the groups, going back to their respective groups. One guy's still actively selling. He's a great guy, Barry Dutter. He was one of the guys, and he left, no drama. He's like, hey, man, going back to my group, no problem. Well, I kept the name Comics Elite. I already had a logo made, a bunch of other stuff. I just kept the name and just followed me until the store. I was already streaming as Comics Elite. And then they implemented the business page thing you could do on Facebook. So I started a business page and then a website, and then it just exploded from there. A couple of those guys now, one of them in particular, man, he still's like, yeah, he started because we brought all of our sellers to his group, and that's why he is successful. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Just haters everywhere, bro.
So
anyway,
then I see you said you started, you got a store. So you went and bought, like, had a brick and mortar place at that point?
Yeah, I went and got a brick and mortar. I was retiring from the Marine Corps at the time. So I was transitioning out of the Marines and doing this as a full-time gig, because before it was just a side hustle, So when I was retiring, I moved from California to Indianapolis because I got boring stuff, right? But I got a job teaching ROTC at a high school. So I moved and it was still blowing up, and I was still streaming live from my apartment. And that's when I just outgrew it. And I was like, I'm just going to open a brick and mortar and take the leap, man, and do this full time. It was scary, bro, to do it full time,
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Especially jumping in at, like, how long had you had Comics Elite been around at that point?
Oh, it was still new, maybe like as a brand, like loosely as like a year.
Wow, not bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so when did you think about doing the publishing stuff? Because, not a lot of people, well, I'm sure a lot of people know, but if you don't know, Sean is also MERC Publishing, right? That's your gig too?
Yeah, me and I'm the managing owner of MERC Publishing. Jamie Tyndall owns that with me. Also Legends Publishing. We publish some titles through theirs. Currently publishing Sora Sung's Carnal Confessions through Lunar. Artist Elite was myself and Ali Garza and Tyler Kirkham. That had a successful run. And now we just started Black Ops Publishing also. So I can't stop the publishing, man. It really started because, once you see how the sausage is made, and you're like, I was buying books from guys for $12 a pop to flip some of these hyper collectible books, like the Do You Poos and the Hardly Thins and that stuff. I had a rabid fan base for that, and I became very close friends. I still am. He's one of my best friends in the industry. Murat Michaels, Ryan Kincaid, a bunch of these guys. And I was just like, man, I got to get these for less than $12. And then you see how much it costs to actually print the book, and you're like, well, shit, how can I do this? You're like, oh, I got to make a comic. And then you're like, well, let's make a comic. And that shit is way harder than it sounds.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so much work to make a comic. It's expensive, it's extensive, it's drawn out, especially making a good comic. If you try to make a good comic, that's the key.
Was it more about creating your own comics so you could make a better profit on them, or was a comic something that you had always wanted to do? Because I feel like when that happens, when it's somebody that's like just wants to put out a comic, they tend to go like the Kickstarter route. You're like, fuck it, I'm just going to start my own publishing company.
Yeah, well, what started, honestly, bro, I just wanted a better profit margin. I just wanted I just wanted a book I could slap some boobies on and sell, because most of those guys buy those covers, they don't give a crap what's on the inside. They don't read it. They don't crack it open. I used to tease them rotten. I'm like, no one's ever read a Naughty and Nice book. I tease them about it. It's not true. Of course people do. But, and then once you start making the book and you read it, you're like, I actually care about this.
Yeah.
Like, I actually give a crap what's on the inside of this. Like, I used to do a comic review show on my Comics Elite YouTube channel, and for about a year, myself and Drew and Kyle, we would read 36 books a week, 36 to 50 books a week. Every title that came out, I ordered it. We spent all the weekend, all day Monday reading the books, and then we do our top 10, bottom 10 show. And, you know, we've all read comics our whole lives, but reading comics at that level, holy crap, man.
That's the next level. Yeah, that's tough.
I realized, like, I don't want to make a book that I would criticize on my own show. So we actually, Miss Meow #1 for MERC, we rewrote the whole book. We redid the entire art on the inside. It cost a fortune because I was not happy with it. I was like, this sucks. The writer wasn't happy either.
Have you been seeing what's been going on with Eric July and the whole ISOM thing, and people kind of calling out that the book is crap, like it's not written well, this and that? I think that's a big thing these days, that you need to make sure that what you're putting out is good. That's very important.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people will buy a #1 because it's a #1. And I always say, what I've learned is the covers bring them in for issue #1. But the story brings them back for issue 2. Serious readers, anyway. You can sell issue 1 through 15 with just some naughty covers on it. But if you want readers to stick around and give a shit about your characters and care about the property, and if you're slapping your name on this too, you know, I'm saying I'm the publisher of this book. I'm so involved with the creation at every level. I do not want someone picking this book up and going, "This is crap." So,
what's it like? What's it like distributing books on that level?
It's another universe. I got to tell you, man, I've learned so much doing this. So we decided to go exclusive. I decided to go exclusive with Lunar, way before it was cool when Image did it. Because I had such negative experiences with Diamond, and I could see him going down the tubes, and Lunar. You can get into the debate about, you know, I agree with guys all the time about they're the enemy and they own DCBS. And, you know, when you're distributing on such a high level, you realize, and I got to know those guys over there really well, you realize they don't give a shit. They're not trying to steal anybody's market share. They got enough market share. They're not worried about it. It's just, you see the industry from such a different perspective. You know, when I can see every store, how much they ordered of every issue. I would have so many guys come up to me and be like, "Oh man, my store sells your book all the time. Sweet man, what's your store?" "Oh, my store is Joe Blow's Comics." "Great, man. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much." I go back and look at them like, "You ordered one copy." Like, why would you lie about something like that? That's weird. You see what sells, what doesn't sell, what artists sell. Do the ratio variants work? Do people give a crap about ratio variants? You know, the description in there, the title, every little thing matters, what you're communicating, and it's so competitive. There's so many comics out there that just, like we were just talking about, they just, honestly, they suck. Do
you as a publisher allow anybody to do retailer exclusives with you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How does that work?
It's similar to any other deal you get from another publisher. I'm a lot more lenient, actually. I don't have like a hard rule of like a 500 minimum, and you know, I just honestly ask them, like, "What do you got in mind, bro? Like, what do you want to do?" "I'm gonna do a print run of 20. "Okay, that's cool. You know, so be it. I want you. You know, when you look at it like this, if you do a variant, let's say you want to do a variant with me, right? For you know, Death Rage or something. If you're gonna be out there talking about that cover to all of your entire market, you're going to be saying Death Rage exclusive, come buy my Death Rage exclusive. How much free marketing and advertising am I getting from you doing an exclusive on my book? Tons. You can't buy that kind of advertising from people. So I feel like I'm not going to charge you, you know, $10 a copy or some ridiculous amount. You can do a small print run. Hey, I hope you make a ton of money on it. I want you to make a fortune on the variant you do for one of my titles, because I want you to come back and do another one, and then come back and do another one, you know?
Yeah, I think that's an important thing. And I think that more and more people are also finding these ways to go and print the books and be part of it and start their own book. And you see more and more businesses being started just for the exclusive retailer game, right? I mean, that's a big deal right now. It's a very hot topic. You see the exclusive retailer game getting very, very drowned out as of late. You've been in it since basically the beginning. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, just so I understand, bro, what do you mean by exclusive retailer? Do you mean like the guys doing Marvel and DC exclusive? Like
I mean, doing them all. I'm talking about this, like, so a lot of people have gotten their start as retailers, you know, becoming a business retailer, online retailer, and then, you know, doing indie exclusives with Image and with, you know, whatever indie publishers, and then they'll move up, say, to DC and Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have so many of these people doing this, and it might not be at the best time, and at the same time, because there's so many, and also big publishers are getting into the game, like they're just flooding the market with these exclusive retailer variants.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
No, I feel you, bro. And you know what happens, Brian, is these guys come in and they bite off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
More of those guys fail than succeed. You know, I always tell them right off the bat, find another guy doing variants and ask him to invest in his variant. Hey, bro, let me take 10% of your variant. Let me take 10% of that 500 print run. Give me 50 copies. If you can sell out of those 50 copies, good. Do it again.
Yeah.
And then do it again. Okay, now maybe move up and take 20% of that run. Then take 25%. Like slowly build it. Because these guys will swoop in. They think it's easy. You know, they see everyone doing a John Jiang exclusive, and I want a John Jiang exclusive. And next thing you know, they contact John. He's a great guy. He'll do it for you. And you sell 10 copies. It's not because the cover sucks. It's because you don't have a market.
Yeah.
You don't have the reach. Nobody's heard of you. You don't have a market, an email list with 20,000 people on it. You don't have an app that has 10,000 people sign up for push notifications. You know, you don't have a website that gets 10,000 hits a day. You're just a dude on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not the way to go, man. And more of those guys fail. And what happens is they come in, luckily they'll do a little bit of damage. They'll try to jump on a hot image book that they think's going to take off. It doesn't take off. There's always another number one around the corner. Those days are long gone. You remember those days when every number one indie book that came out was
in
the
a box.
hottest thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd go into your comic shop and they would be like, "Hey, do you want every image number one in your box?" And you would say yes.
Yeah.
At the time.
Every single one. Yeah. As a matter of fact, give me 5 copies of each one. You know, because I'm an investor, right? Well, those guys come in and realize that it's a lot harder than it looks, and they wind up, you know, it's sad. It's sad, actually, because I want everybody to succeed. I don't want anybody to fail in the industry or hurt the industry. But they think it's easy, and they don't do the research, you know.
And it's a different game than it was 2 years ago when it went crazy. I mean, it went absolutely bonkers crazy for 2 years, and people were just, I mean, they were dancing in it.
Yeah, I think probably the record for homage variants has got to be Department of Truth. I think every record, album, or idea a movie poster that could possibly be done was done for that title. Yeah. And it was done during COVID, which is a perfect storm. Government gives you free money, makes everybody stay home, so they got nothing else to do. Now, you know, people have money a little bit more. They're out. It's summer. Now it's hard. Sales are slower in the summer. So you don't see a lot of these guys popping up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, there's a very fine line in this game also between business and then kind of like your outside persona, right? There's a lot of people that think that they can do it and act like they can do it but can't do it. There's also a lot of people that don't think of it as a business in the way that they should sometimes, and kind of put themselves on a limb. And we're seeing that a lot lately, obviously, in that game. And I think because of that, one of the things that might be happening more specifically because of that, I mean, it's happening more just because it's everywhere right now. But I think that's what's happening more because, you know, it's easier and it's less money, is this whole AI art thing that's going on in comics.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's absolutely crazy. It started kind of harmlessly. It was interesting. A lot of us thought like, oh man, this is kind of cool. They're utilizing Chat GPT to do the story, or they're taking a story and they're giving it art, and all that type of stuff. And we thought it was interesting. And then it got so easy that it was being used everywhere, absolutely everywhere, to the point where, think they're going to be talking about it in Congress for months now. I imagine there's just more and more stuff happening. And it's very interesting because one of the things that I think MERC is known for, at least that I have been talking about MERC Publishing for a while. Every time I do a show with Simple Man's Comics and Comic Man Andy, where we talk about new comics of the week. And anytime a MERC book would pop up, we would talk about how amazing the art was on it. And MERC has a very high gloss kind of feel to it, right? It's very realistic, but not too realistic, if that makes sense. Is that kind of right? A lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And you deal in a world with a lot of artists in this game also, because you're a publisher. And I'm sure that you're looking at it from that level too, like, hey man, this could change this whole game up in a second. What happened over the last couple of days on your Facebook page, man?
Well, I've been against AI for a while, especially once I did my research and I learned how it generated the images. It takes, we all know this. If you don't, long story short, there's like 5 billion or some images in this huge database, some like 12 terabytes, something of data, whatever it is. It just references all those images and then cobbles together something the human eye will recognize. Oh man, here we go.
Yeah.
So it's theft. Long story short, it's just theft.
Yeah.
So, and it's also a shortcut. It's a way for a publisher to generate art that looks good. Let's be honest here. Most of the art looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Aside from her disappearing ponytail and some other flaws in this cover, it's a beautiful face. That's what draws people in. The body looks good. To the untrained eye, first looking at it, it's a gorgeous cover, right? But you can cut corners and you can save yourself the $1,500 to $3,000 you're going to pay a top tier artist to give you a top tier cover. And you can just put in some prompts and pull it out, Yeah. So there's a lot of people who were taking those shortcuts, and it's so recognizable to see an AI cover. The instant you see this cover, if you know your art, you can tell this is an AI cover. There's so many more out there. And I got tired of asking people, hey, is this AI? And they would ignore you. They would not answer you, or they would just straight up lie to your face and say, no, it's not.
That's the biggest problem, right? Like it's one way to utilize it, but if you're honest about it, like that's a key moment in choosing to utilize AI art. You have to be honest about it, or you're just not going to get any love when people find out that you're using it.
Yeah. So luckily, a good friend of mine, he pointed out to me, it was actually Jamie Tyndall. We were talking about AI stuff, and he's like, there's AI detectors out there. And I was like, no way. So I did some more research while I was on vacation. I did a bunch of research. The wife took an early night one night, so I did a deep dive. And man, there's 4 pretty good ones easily recognized. This one is the result of a Hive, it's called. If you just Google Hive AI recognition, it'll come right up. But you can take an image. I literally just took a screen grab from, from a post on it. It won't do if you take a pit. There's tricks to it. Long story short, if you can run it through an AI generator, and it'll tell you what likelihood it is, and then also what program it used. So this one may be a little confusing. If you look on the right there, it shows like the 0.99. That's pretty much 99.9%. Just look at that as a percentage.
Yeah.
So that's saying, yes, 99% of it is AI. 99% of it is stable diffusion. And there's a 0.001% chance that it's not AI. So it's like a DNA test, right?
Yeah. This is a game changer. It's an absolute game changer.
Yes, sir.
the conversations on your posts between artists and shop owners and people talking about this was so interesting, man. It was so interesting. And then here's the interesting thing. Some of the artists on there were testing this thing out with their own art, right? And showing, hey, yeah, I used AI for this part, and it would pop up, and then, I mean, you had just like this crazy conversation going on that just kept leading to a new finding and a new finding and a new finding, which is crazy because at some point somebody's going to think you're calling them out, right?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're at that point. You know, people. Number one, you should be. I like in the comments. It's so funny. Yeah, right. It is like use the AI to tell if it's AI. Yeah, well, no crap. Like that's who better to know if it's generated by a computer than a computer, right?
Yeah.
So we're at this point in the industry where, you know, you should always be honest about how your art is generated, especially now that AI is a thing. And I could see us. There's a few telltale signs. Bryan, if you were an artist and your art always looks a certain way, and then one day you pop out this cover and it looks gorgeous and nothing like your stuff, people are gonna go,
yeah,
"What? Hey, man, that's pretty cool. By the way, it looks like AI. Is that AI? No, it's not AI. It's just a new style I'm trying out." You deserve to be called out. You owe more answers than that. And people are taking shortcuts now. Like there's some very dishonest people that are making up fake artist names. For example, the image you just showed. We can go take a deep dive on that crap.
Well, I would love to. Yeah, let's actually do that because, you know, we in another show, I host the Hot 10 show with my boy Stein every Friday night. And that book came up because it started selling like crazy. It was absolutely unreal. I believe it was a Melinda Comics book too at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
And you know, I like to laugh and joke about stuff with the best of the people, you know, and I think my earlier comment about how we you know, we live in a world of 40-year-old babies sometimes. The best way to deal with that is kind of throw it back in people's faces and joke about it. So I like to do the show where I call it Drama Alert, and I talk about all the drama going on. And Melinda's Comics came up at one time, and I found it very interesting, you know, that here's somebody that's, you know, getting into this so quickly. She's instantly become this person that people are searching out. They're getting her eyelashes and, you know, selling their books for more for eyelashes on the book. Like, it's some very interesting, weird, interesting stuff going on. But she's making money. She's making a lot of money in this thing.
Yeah.
And this isn't this is bad optics right here. If I ever saw it,
I'm telling you, man. I'm so, you know, hate the player. A couple things here, right? First off, hate the player, don't hate the game. Yeah. Right. Or hate the game, don't hate the player. Whatever you're gonna hate one, not the other.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Right. So, hey, if she found a way to use Whatnot to get a bunch of dudes to fall in love with her and make a ton of money, good for her. If I was an attractive chick, I'd probably do the same thing. For real. I'd probably do the same thing.
I see nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Here's where it takes a turn, right? Here's where it takes a turn. The dishonesty.
Yeah.
That's where it takes a turn. When those covers first started coming out, I would be in the streams too, because I'd be curious. People were messaging me left and right. Did you see this cover? Oh my God. I'm like, well, I want to see this cover. Who's this artist? Man, I want to hire this guy. Right. I got a couple artists on exclusive deals. Like I'll get this guy in. And you would ask, tons of people are asking in the chat, hey, who's the artist? Crickets. And I know, you can see your question. Hey, who's the artist on this? Do you mind if I ask? Who's the artist? And then I typed in one of the trip. I said, this looks like AI to me. Bro, I got blown up. These dudes came after me with pitchforks and knives. Why is Comic Sleep being a jerk? And I was like, I'm not being a jerk. I'm simply asking a question like, who's the artist on this? Right? And there was no answer was ever given. Next thing you know, I'm blocked from the chat, from her feed. I can't see her stuff. The Comics Elite count is blocked from there, which is fine. So yeah, she blocked me basically because I was asking questions, and then a lot of other people started asking questions. Hey, is this AI? And the general consensus is most people will ignore. Well, now she made up an artist, I guess, called supposedly the credit is Max Fed is the artist. There's a couple other Darth Vader ones in there too.
Yeah.
That were AI. See, she doesn't post them in there. And I don't know, maybe she's just bad at using social media to sell comics. She's good at showing other things in there. But if they post the image, you can put it in the AI generators, and then they can tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, there's many other comics that are clearly AI generated, and poorly so. There's many flaws in the issues. So a lot of people started asking her, "Hey, who's the artist?" Well, all of a sudden it comes out this guy is Max Fed, is the artist. And everybody did research on Max Fed. I was on another YouTube show, and he did his pre-show prep and did tons of research. He's like, for the love of God, I cannot find a single artist named Max Fed. Now, there's a couple problems with this. I've worked with artists for the last 7 years, some of the best in the industry, right? Top artists in the industry, period. It takes a lifetime to get really, really good at art to generate a cover like that. That takes digital skills that require extensive knowledge of anatomy, Photoshop, digital skills, blah, blah, blah. If somebody had those kind of skills and could produce art at that level, somebody would have heard of them, or they would have an enormous social media profile to be able to promote their work, to try to find work, to talk about themselves, talk amongst their peers. Here's where'd you learn your craft? No one's heard of this guy ever. Huge red flag. Yeah. Right? Huge red flag. Who is this fucking person? Right? There's still no answer. If she would have came out in the beginning and just said, this is something that I've done on my own. I used, Midjourney to come up with the ideas and this and that. Would you have a problem with it? I would have less of a problem with it. At least I would respect her for owning it. Yeah, because in reality, sometimes if you look into this AI stuff, to get it looking good or to get it working right or to get it to actually, be worth a shit, there does take some time. There takes some time trying to come up with the prompts and, how you want them, how you get deep into it. And I think maybe that's also part of the problem, because some of this stuff is so bad that it's so easy to tell that it's AI art too. Yeah. No, it is. And it takes, I don't think she generated that cover on her own. I think she has a dude that did it for her. I got you. Yeah. And they call themselves AI artists. They're really, AI prompters, whatever you want to call them. But maybe they decided to call this guy Max Fed. But if she would have been honest up front and just said, this covers AI, we're going to start selling AI covers. If you don't like it, don't buy it. At least she would have owned it. And I'd be like, hey, good for her. At least she just put a stake in the sand and said, this is my stance. Yeah. Instead, she just she sounds I guess a liar is the best way to put it. Well, I don't know. If she came out and said there's an artist that is doing this and it's an AI art, that you're lying, and that's not good. Yeah. And then finally, once she got caught and it was obvious it was AI, then she started saying in her streams, Max Fed does a mix of AI and digital. Bullshit. There's no digital in it. Look at that image that showed us. 99% AI. It's zero digital. So, it is what it is. Do you think that there's any possibility, because you've been playing around with this for a little bit of time. This is the first time I've been hearing these things. I imagine there's other tools out there. But have you talked with anybody that uses the tool on a regular basis to talk about, is there a probability that it's going to make mistakes? Because I'll be honest, we talked about this last week during the drama report thing over this image. Let me go ahead and show it to you. Hold on here. There was this recent image right here that we talked about on our show the other night that was utilized as an exclusive cover, right? Yeah, and then he did his apology video. You got it. Yeah. And while talking about that image, one of the things that I brought up is I said, and this is before I had read any of your posts, Sean. So this is the crazy thing. This is the synchronicity about how important and how many people are talking about this, and in their groups.
I thought to myself, this looks very, Will Jack, David Nakayama. There's going to be some big artists out there that could be called out, but not necessarily guilty of it. Do you think that's a possibility that's going to happen?
I actually did that. I took Will Jack cover, his Teen Titans one for Starfire, and I ran it through. Somebody else actually sent it to me. They said, hey, this comes up as AI. I did my own research, and it came up as AI. Sure enough, I was like, man, this comes up as AI. And then I went back and looked at some other covers Will Jack did, and they also came up as AI, some of his Heatseeker covers. And there were many, many telltale signs. Like, let me preface this by this. Will Jack can draw some beautiful covers.
Yeah.
That's the one right there.
Yeah.
That's the one. So I made a post that had that cover and some other covers in it that took AI hits. And to be fair, just for comparison purposes, I took a bunch of art germ cover. I took an art germ cover. I took a Jiang cover. I took a bunch of other covers. I happen to be on the Comic Mint side. I took a bunch of Steve's covers, and I ran them all through the AI generator. And the only ones that came back with a hit was this one and 2 other Will Jack covers. Will Jack actually messaged me the next day, and he sent me a work in progress video. And then he posted the work in progress video,
which is, in my opinion, the only way that you can bring receipts to this, right?
Yes, but I mean, look, I'm so skeptical. If you pause this, and I've done this, and some other people have done this, if you pause it at the very end, right before it shows it's going to change to the image, it is not. It's not. There's a lot more work that needs to be done to that cover. Now, I'm not. It's a very. It looks like he's drawn it. I can already see it right now. I looked at this damn cover so many times in the last 3 days. The face is already off.
Let me ask you something, because you work with a lot of CG artists, right? Artists that do a lot of work on CG, and this is such a great thing to me, because I've been talking about this for a while, that people are going to have to start showing their work on this stuff, and keeping this. This is so important to do this, because even with CG art, they have those stamps, right? Those stamps that you can get, and those different tools where you can take somebody's eye and copy that eye and then just airbrush it a little bit. Like that's happening all the time. There's people using different types of clip art or PNG images that they find somewhere, and it's a there's that very fine line. There's a very fine line between business and doing, I guess, standing up and doing the right thing, and people walk that line very, very well.
Yeah. There's, I just have a few questions about this cover. I backed off of Will Jack. Go through his Instagram anytime. He can create stunning, beautiful covers. He's just, there's a reason why he's one of the top guys for the Comic Mint.
I mean, that's art right there too. He's drawing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's weird to me it's weird to me that cover and the other one with a different smile. The rest of it is exactly the same except for the smile. So with his Starfire cover, when he did that work in progress, I just have more questions, but it wasn't important enough to me to pursue it. Yeah, he did his due diligence. He posted work in progress.
Amen.
Why does that end image, before it jumps to where he slow scrolls to the image? Why is that final second of that video so far off from that final cover? Why is it so far off? Why did he not record the rest of it? If he finished it off, why did he not record the rest of it?
Yeah.
Or why would he not say, here's my work in progress. By the way, I finished this offline. It took me another so many hours. Even if you slow that video down 4x, it's still like a 40 minute video. That's 3 to 4 hours of work. Where's the video? Why did he post a work in progress video for the Heatseeker comics? There's 3 of them that had a strong AI hit. And the faces look exactly the same as that Starfire face, which, by the way, doesn't look anything like any of his other faces. That's a huge one. Most artists kind of have that face, the art germ face. Every art germ face looks the same, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So why are those so hugely different? And did he just decide to randomly change his face and then use that same face from now on? I don't know. Are these coincidences? I don't know. But I just feel like there's a lot more questions there. But again, I just backed off because it's not that important. It's not that important to me. He did his due diligence. I don't know, crap about crap when it comes to drawing digital art. I can't draw for crap. I'm good at selling comics, not drawing them. So, he did his right thing. I'm not going to keep going after the guy.
Well, I think that's very important. That's a very important turn, though, that is being made in this whole AI comic art, thing that's happening, is that this is proving that saving your progress, showing your work is very important when it comes to this stuff. Absolutely. And it's going to have to be done for, CG artists moving forward. I really think that's unless people become okay with the AI art, which
yeah. Well, there's a couple other things happen. So I'll mention this. There are artists that have been posting fake work in progresses.
Ooh.
So the AI, you can reverse engineer the image when it's done. I've seen several of those, and any artist that works digitally looks at those instantly and says, that's the most fakest work in progress I've ever seen. It's just, it's not a video. It's just a bunch of still shots.
Can I ask you a question that is very interesting on my mind? How do you feel about Shikari now?
I love him.
Do you want to see his work in progress?
I see him all the time. All the time. I can go. Anybody that wants to see how Shikari makes a cover, here's what I encourage him to do. I encourage him. He has a Facebook group. It's a Shikari group. He posted an extensive work in progress of how he makes a cover. Those are all exclusive to MERC.
I mean, he is. You guys, I do a market report every week, and I'm on the Hot 10 every week. The amount of money that is being changed hands in comics is crazy, but so much of that money is being changed with these books right now. MERC, Shikari books, they're selling for crazy money on the secondary market. I mean, it's unbelievable, and this is the art that is the hottest in comics right now.
Absolutely.
And to think that the AI bubble can either destroy it or make it better, this is the one. This is the first Shikari I remember saying, like, am I saying that right?
Yeah, you're right, Shikari.
Okay. This is the first one I remember seeing, just being like, holy shit. Like, unbelievable.
No, I feel you, bro. It's when this whole thing first started, and I started aggressively going after some fake AI art that I saw out there, I was pretty savagely pushed back against by some people, saying, hey, well, where's, you talking about fake artists that nobody knows about. No one's ever talked to Shikari. How come no one's ever seen his face? Who is this guy? What's a Shikari? Who is this person? Mm-hmm. And I did a deep dive. I did my due diligence. He lives on a small island off the coast of India. He's had an extensive video game career, doing some amazing art in the video game community. He's and I see. I probably talk to him. I probably talk to him 15 times a day, and I am constantly seeing work in progress from him. It's stunning to see how he can take. And you know how you can tell it's work in progress, because like I've asked for lots of changes. I asked for lots of changes in my art. I know exactly what will sell.
That's important. That's a big rule right there for people in this industry that are doing it, that are making money in this industry, is to push back. If it's something you really want with an artist, you're paying for it.
Yeah. I tell you, and a lot of people say, especially that Ray cover and the Wonder Woman cover, people will say, "Oh, he's just taking faces and photoshopping him." I promise, it looks, and I totally can see how that looks the case. I can promise every single person watching this that is not the case. I've seen him draw all those faces from scratch. I've sent him face references, of other people that I've seen all around the internet, whatever. I'm watching a video and I see somebody that looks, gorgeous to me, and I'm like, hey, can you recreate this face, but don't make it look exactly like that person.
This is probably the one that I push back the most on when I talk about Shikari.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm critical of Shikari because I love his work. I've been, I think it's great, but to me this was always one of the things that was like, man, I don't get the putting of the real faces on there. And to be honest, this is the first thing I thought about when it started coming out that AI art was becoming this big thing, and I'm like, man, this just looks so real that I feel like even if it's not AI art. So I went to Shikari's thing. It says he has big no AI art on his thing, which that's very respectful. But here's another thing. He's gonna have to probably start showing his art now, and maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. And I tell you, man, he sends me so many work in progress pictures. I could probably do a work in progress video of his stuff. And like, I encourage everybody, not now, wait till the show's over, but get into go on Facebook, look at work, his group, ask to join it, no problem. And then he will easily show his work.
Do you think that this has reached the level yet to like the pushback that we saw Matina get back in the day, or
Well, I sure hope so, because Matina was blatantly stealing.
Yes,
other people's and not
big
giving,
time.
The problem was, remember, he wasn't giving him credit for it.
Yes,
He didn't put after or anything. That was the problem with Matina.
Yeah. Well, I it's very interesting to see where this is going to go, but I want to ask you a couple of things, because how do you see the AI art affecting your business as a comic book retailer?
I tell you something. AI is probably one of the most dangerous things to the entire comic book industry out there right now. If AI somehow ever woke up tomorrow and said, I'm gonna start doing AI covers, they're all gonna look almost the same. There'll be a flurry of purchasing.
Yes.
There'll be a flurry of purchasing. Everybody's going to want these covers. They're all going to rush towards them, just like Melinda's having success with her covers, selling them, because they're at first glance they're gorgeous covers, right? So there'll be a flurry of buying, and then after not even 6 months, they're going to die because they all look the same.
Yeah.
That's no
scary.
Uniqueness to it. You can go through that Shikari photo roll like you did, and if anybody scrolls through that, they're all going to look, you can tell it's a Shikari cover,
yes,
but they all have a unique look to them. They all have a unique look to them. They all have that beautiful, stunning
photorealism,
but it's incredibly unique.
He's good at that line right before it's too photorealistic that you could still tell it's a comic book cover. I never want it to get so realistic that you can just put an actor on there, an actress on there. But I like that where right before you reach that like uncanny valley or whatever they call it. But at the same time, do you think that you think that this is going to happen with AI? Or do you think that publishers like DC and Marvel, Marvel got in trouble for utilizing the AI art in the Secret Invasion intro, which is very interesting. Crap. Don't you feel like this is a freight train coming and that it's going to be used in the industry no matter what?
I do, man. It's scary because with Marvel doing that, man, not only did it piss a lot of people off, but it also it was such an insult to, how many digital artists, like Marvel can't afford to pay a digital artist. Like, I get both sides of it. And again, here's the core problem with AI. It's stealing, referencing all these other existing images, all of them. So all these people that have done this work over all these years, it's not credited. It goes away. And honestly, the intro looked terrible.
It did.
Well, but if it didn't, let's just say that's really irrelevant. If it looked amazing, people were like, "This is the most amazing intro we've ever seen." Oh my God! It's still using stolen art. It's still not legit. It's still not legit. So
man,
like what are you gonna do when it gets to that point? There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You probably can't show some of these, but I'm currently forwarding you some of the work in progresses from that raid cover. I found a couple.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You could definitely. Yeah, for sure. Oh, oh yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you kind of see where he actually started working on the face. So you can see the rough face, how he sketched it out. He definitely used her as a reference. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's supposed to be.
Can I show just that face? Do you mind?
You can show whatever you want, bro.
Okay.
All this.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting. All right, so this is the type of stuff that that artists are gonna moving forward. If AI is part of this world, artists are gonna have to start doing stuff like this, and this is important. This is very important. You can totally see it. I mean, working on the face, playing with different angles.
Yeah. What blew me away one time was at a con. I asked this guy to do a sketch, and he goes, "Do you like McFarlane?" I was like, "Yeah, I love McFarlane. Duh, who doesn't, right?" And he's like, "I'm gonna do this sketch for you in McFarlane style," and I was like, "Sure, whatever that means, go for it." And you would have thought Tom McFarlane drew that cover. I was like, "Holy crap!" I was blown away.
Wow.
Right? And he goes, and he told me, he goes, "A real artist can mock other people's styles if they choose to." And then, so that was like a huge learning experience for me, hearing him tell me that and show me that. So going back to this reference of Shikari doing this, a good artist should be able to look at a photo and recreate that from scratch.
Yes, 100%.
Digitally. And Shikari is so good. Bro, there's a reason why I got him exclusive to all my companies. I went after him hard, bro. I had to get him away from, he's a very loyal person. He was very loyal to some other people he worked with. And it took a lot of convincing and a lot of money to get him to be exclusive to MERC, Comics Elite, the companies that I own.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he's your guy. I mean, and talk about a guy to have. I'm not joking, you guys, when I talk about every market report, every week I do the market report, I go through the Hot 10. We talk about your books and your Shikari covers just constantly being sold. Like, they are constantly making money on the secondary market. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You know what? I'll reach out to you, man. Next time I do a launch, I'll give you some behind the scenes look.
I would love that. Yeah.
I'll give you a behind the scenes look. We are launching something tomorrow on Black Ops. Not cheap plug, right? He has a cover coming out for a new title we just announced called Jesse Zombie Hunter. It's a spoof of Jessica Rabbit. It's coming out on Black Ops Publishing tomorrow at noon. So we got a preview cover and a main cover coming out. It'll be the first cover, only the third cover ever sold through that website, brand new publishing company. But that's not a good one to use. But I tell you, man, I sell out of my print. I just reduced my print runs of Shikari covers because they could have went. I could sell 1,000 copies of every one of his covers, but that would destroy the Shikari market, the collectability of it. I intentionally keep the print runs. The highest print run I do right now, I think, is 400 cover A's, trade dresses. And of those 400, 200 go into the collector boxes that we do. We do a special collector's box to get all 4 covers and a special box exclusive cover. The box is printed. You get a button, some other stuff with it, right? So I could easily, and I just had no choice, but I had to eliminate all wholesale. So I used to have partner stores that would take bundles of the Shikari covers. I love some of those guys, man. They're my friends, but business-wise, I had no choice. I had to stop wholesale on Shikari covers. So
yeah,
because I refuse to allow it to become saturated. Just like like we talked about, the danger of AI is it becomes saturated everywhere.
Yeah.
And now every Marvel, DC character, every artist character looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
The faces look the same.
And it can kill a market instantly. You know what I mean?
Market. It can ruin the decades of work an artist has taken to master his craft.
Do you think that there's any time where I'm going to bring in my co-host here in a couple minutes, but do you think that at any time is there a good time to use AI? Because I feel like AI also gets a bad rap sometimes because we know it's coming. It's coming like a freight train, and we're going to have to figure out how to utilize it in the right ways, the ways we think are right now. Maybe look into it more before we utilize them in certain areas of our life, but it's coming. And at the same time, I I really like this guy named Television who is doing this great AI art and book, and he kind of uses that as a tool, not necessarily a just a quick copy or a throw something up there really quick to make money. He spends months and months creating prompts and creating stuff to make this a whole story and a art piece. Do you think at any point there is where it's okay to let that stuff into the hobby?
That's a tough question, man, because at the core of it, AI is still using stolen art. Now, the Supreme Court, they're all debating this. Is it fair use? Right? Hey, you just saw that cover for Ray. I don't own the right to Star Wars, but it falls within the fair use clause, right? So is it fair use to take all these images to generate a completely separate image that has nothing to do with the original image, right? Do you have to give credit? Do you need to say after 8 billion images, right? So there's a huge debate about that right now. In this current form, I would say the answer is no, because publishing that's the problem, is publishing it. Let me back up a minute. If, let's say me and you are going to make a comic and we're going to design a character that has spikes coming out of her face. I don't think there's anything wrong with using AI to say, girl with spikes on her face, put some prompts in, get some different ideas. I like that idea. And then maybe even take that image, send it to an artist to recreate it. Here's your
storyboard.
References. Yes. Here's your references for this character. Recreate this for me. And be straight with them. I made this in AI. I want you to recreate it. Move this here. Move this spike from her face to over here. Right? Make some changes. The problem comes in when someone just says, hey, here's AI generate girl with spiky face. Here we go. There's a cover. Done.
Yeah.
Or even taking that and giving it to somebody to Photoshop it a little bit.
Well, it's pushing out artists also, right? I mean, eventually, if that happens, the publishers won't have to pay for an artist at all, but also they won't have to pay. I don't know if Marvel or DC still does this, but I thought at one point they were working with artists on creator rights. If they're doing everything through AI, they don't have to pay an artist creator rights.
Yeah, I could take any of those comics that any of these AI people are doing, they're publishing. Anybody can take those and reprint them. Somebody please do. Just reprint it. They don't own the rights to it. The Supreme Court says they don't own the rights to it. It cannot be copyrighted. The law was passed. It is the law of the land. Supreme Court passed that.
I don't know if they should go and copy him, because then there's just another person being a douchebag. So I don't think about that. But I will say, once it starts fucking with somebody's money, then they're really thinking about it. So
yeah,
I'm very open-minded to, seeing that it's coming, seeing that we're not going to be able to stop it, and figuring out ways to use it and to where it's okay to use it, because I think it's very exciting, man. I got a buddy that we talk about all the time on this channel, Hartman Cards, who creates these badass cards, and he utilizes AI to give him ideas, and sometimes he'll utilize AI in different ways, but he's just kind of using it as a tool more than anything. And he does some amazing stuff with it. And
no, I believe you, man. Here's what we have to define: big picture, right? What do we, when we say use it as, because I said that many times myself, use it as a tool, we got to define that.
Yeah.
What does it mean by a tool? When I define it as a tool, some people think, oh, tool to give me a base of a cover that I can paint over it. No, it's not. To me, that's cheating. Tool, in my mind, is, okay, for generate ideas, like you just said, he's getting some amazing ideas from it. That's cool. But if somebody then, let's just say he takes some of those ideas and puts them on a card, right, as some of the images on the card, technically anybody could say, that's now mine, and they could republish it, because he can never copyright that image. He can never copyright that character that was generated through AI.
Yeah.
Right. And what will happen is someday, the AI detection tools now, they're still brand new, just like AI is. It's a brand new technology, but it's moving light speed, as we all know. There will be a day when there will be an AI detector that can detect AI. AI can detect AI no matter what you do to it. Right now, there's lots of ways to cheat and get around the detectors, and some of these guys, these lazy guys, are smart. But that's
crazy too, though. You know what I mean? the crazy things that they're utilizing so much that now we have detectors to find out if it's AI art. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, as you know, bro, in the comic, especially in the comic industry, we've learned this lesson. Where there's money to be made, there's scammers to be found.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
And there's scammers scamming us right to our faces. And some of those scammers are lining up and fighting to get some of those. I'll let you scam me as long as your eyelash is in there too.
Yeah, dude. It's very interesting. But at the same time, here's the interesting thing. There's that fine line again with business and copying and, you know, being cheesy. I think that, you know, one of the things that I talk about a lot is, and it goes along on the same level of, if everybody starts using AI art, it becomes less wanted and makes it, you know, it drowns all the good stuff out. You have things happening right now. For instance, Big Time Collectibles. I talk about Big Time Collectibles all the time because he is over there, you know, swimming in the money too with those foil covers. What a great idea that was to do that. So smart business wise. All of them look exceptionally cool.
Yeah.
But it's getting to a point where I feel like, is he going to kill his own? Is he going to chop his own head off?
Yeah, he will. I mean, I know Nelson. He's a great guy, man. Good friend of mine. He's a very, very smart, savvy business guy. I tell you something. And he knows. Hey, when the train's hot, ride it. Ride that wave. The smart businessman knows when to slow down and get on another train. That's how some people wind up filing for bankruptcy and they go under because they don't know when to slow down, or they get buried in we could go on and on about how businesses fail. But yeah, you're right, man. It's just like anything else where you have to learn when. Can you sell a Department of Truth cover today?
Yeah, I don't think so. No,
we all jumped off of that train when that dried up.
The best way to put it that I know how to put it comes from a good friend of mine, Jesse James Comics, who, you know, he talks about you all the time. Every time he's talking about, you know, the forerunners of selling live online. But Jesse's always talking about pivoting and how important it is to pivot and know when to pivot. And a good businessman knows how to do that.
Super smart, bro. I couldn't agree with Jesse more, man. You got to know when to pivot, how to pivot, what to pivot to. When is the market shifting? I am constantly paying attention to everybody else. What's my competitors doing? You know, I was in the military, so what's my left and right lateral limits? What's my adjacent units doing? What are these guys doing? Are they succeeding? Is that I see so many covers launched from some of these guys, and I'm like, that ain't selling for shit. That was a $15,000 hit. You know, how are they going to survive that? And other ones I see, and I'm like, damn, that guy's killing it with that. Good for him. But you got to identify trends. You got to see what's coming up. You know, how many people are falling over themselves to do an image number one variant right now? Not that many.
No.
You know, even the Marvel and DCs have slowed down a lot because, you know, remember, I could go on and on, but remember when there was a time when Marvel and DC were like, every cover was pushed back. The boobs are too big. Make them smaller. I literally had DC tell me one time, the girl was too pretty. We had to make the face less pretty. That's one of the things that made me want to start my own publishing company too. I was like, you know what? Screw you guys. You keep telling me what I can't put on covers. When they told me the face was too pretty, I was like, the asylum is being ran by the patients. And I got to get out of here. I got to start my own stuff. So now nobody can tell me what to put on a cover or not to put on a cover. Only one that can tell me what to not put on the cover is the fans and the buyers, because they won't buy it.
Yes.
That's it. That's who I'm. That's it. And I can hire an artist, and they're like, I love when an artist says, "What do you want? What do you want on this cover? Draw whatever you want." Oh, what do you mean? Literally draw whatever you want. Send me some layouts. We'll find a way to go from there.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I couldn't believe that. Too pretty. Nowadays, look what's happening now. Go back to that Wheeljack page. Now they're all about those pretty covers because they realize we can't sell anything else. That's what's hot right now. Yeah. We talked about pivoting. Back in the day, everything Batman Who Laughs and DC Metal sold like crazy. Those bulletproof comics that put Matina on the map, those guys made a fortune on those variant covers back in the day. Then it shifted into Venom. Everybody wanted Venom. Everything was Venomverse, Venomized. Everything was Venomized. Venomized variants. Everything was Venom. And then it was Spider-Verse, right? Gwen and Spider-Verse, and that was hot again. And then it was metal for a little while. Well, now it's shifted into the booby covers. The hot girl covers are hot again. People can't sell them fast enough. So that's the wave now. What's next? Who knows? We'll see. The smart retailers will pivot and do what's next, and the ones who won't will die on the vine, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting how fast everything is changing too. Things are changing at the drop of a dime. I feel like last year at the time during San Diego, everybody was excited about the hobby and making money in the hobby and where everything was going. In a year's time, it has flipped a complete 180. It feels a little bit more sluggish. Mm-hmm. It feels like, there is some bright light in the future, for the hobby and and there's some people that are really doing well because they're smart, but there's a lot of people that just are continuing to, take steps backwards, I feel like.
Yeah, no, you're right. And well, some of those guys are they want the cash grabs. They don't care about the industry. It's very clear that certain sellers don't care about the industry as a whole. They just want to do whatever the short way is to make some money. Who would ever thought we'd have a San Diego Comic-Con without Marvel and Sideshow?
It's
never
nuts.
would have thought. Is it even Comic-Con without Sideshow there? I mean, come on. That's Hall H.
Yeah, people aren't going to be hanging out waiting in line at Hall H all day, every day.
Yeah, like is it even Comic-Con anymore? So, and how much is Whatnot changing that? And these online streamers changing that?
Well, what is your thought on that? I mean, you are a big part. You did a lot of the let's talk it online live retail stuff, which is the whole new rage. I'm gonna bring in one of my co-hosts right now to join us. What's up, Richie? How you doing, brother?
Good. How you guys doing? How you doing, Sean?
Great, man. Good to see you.
So one of the things, sorry, what was I just saying? I apologize.
The Whatnot as compared to Facebook, right?
Yeah. So you're part of that live sale mentality where a lot of people have been making money. Big Leg's going to join us. A lot of people are making money and they're doing it through these live sales. We got eBay, this big monster coming in. We've got Whatnot, who was the big monster last year that is kind of fading away a little bit because there's other guys coming in. You have Fanatics kind of joining the fray. Facebook Live groups are still kicking ass. IG Live's kicking ass. YouTube, people are doing YouTube shows live kicking ass. What is your thought on all that stuff?
I think it's amazing. I mean, there's still something to be said from a gathering of geeks, right? A bunch of us nerds hanging out together talking about nerd shit. I mean, that's never going to get old. But when it comes to having to go someplace to get a comic or get something from your favorite creator, it's just not necessary anymore. I can stay home and save all my expenses and make just as much, if not triple the amount of money. And artists are realizing that too. I don't have to go to a con and sit behind a booth and be away from my family and blah, blah, blah. I can just go live on Whatnot and draw for a few hours and make just as much money as I would have made at this convention.
Yeah.
So it's a game changer. It's if you're a savvy business person, it's a great opportunity for you to expand and grow. If you're a crappy business person, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And there's lots of crappy business people or crappy streamers that fail. We've seen them. They're the guys complaining about how Whatnot sucks.
Yeah.
We have two different accounts. We still go live on Facebook almost every day, and we have two different Whatnot accounts for the store that are live almost every day. One account is live 2 to 3 times a day. So if you're doing the right way and doing the right thing, you can do very well.
Yeah, we're getting ready to, one of the things that we're going to be talking about during this episode is San Diego's, San Diego coming up and how crazy it is and all this stuff. But one of the ways that, a lot of people, including us, that go to San Diego, we try to, find a couple books here and there that are exclusives at San Diego to maybe pick up, and that pays for a ticket or that pays for the hotel room for that night or that type of thing. And with these live selling things, Facebook Live, Whatnot, eBay Live, any of them, you could just jump on right there and pay for your trip. which is amazing for that aspect too. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people doing that this year.
Oh yeah, well I think they got another Whatnot house where Whatnot's paid for a big thing, and they're gonna have all the streamers there, and these guys, man.
You know what's interesting to me about that? It's interesting to me about that is most of the guys who did that, last year, they figured out that they do better when they just like go to their hotel room and sell stuff. Right, so you don't see them out on the con anymore. They're really not at the con, or they're not at the Whatnot house. They're in their hotel room selling stuff now.
Well, the question is this: do you want to make money or do you want clout?
Yes.
What do you want to do? There's so many clout chasers out there. Look at this thing that I did. Look at me. I'm at the house with all these people. Great. Why aren't you live? Oh, I'm talking to all these artists. I'm shaking hands with Tyler Kirkham, and I'm meeting these people. That's great, man. Good for you. Get that shit done and go back and get to work.
Yeah.
But they just want clout. That's cool. Whatever. There's plenty of guys that are willing to work while they get clout. But you're right.
Yeah, for sure. Big Leg, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. How's it going?
I'm doing good, brother. You're doing good. I also, you guys, I'm going to open up the... shout out to Three Rivers Comics for the $5 super chat that just said, personally, I am sick of the portrait pose covers. We ever going to see the return of the hero versus villain cover that is part of the story? Your opinion? That's a great question. I think that we have a collecting base that love to collect covers these days, and covers alone. And the story of comics isn't that big of a deal. You'll sell more based on cover art than you will storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I learned when I would get the numbers back from Lunar for our weekly FOCs when they would come back, cover A almost always sells the best, no matter what. Cover A's always outsell your other covers. And the action covers, we hired Joe Rubenstein to do an action cover with all our characters on it. It did not sell well at all. Don't get me wrong. I love the hero versus villain covers. And here's when they'll come back. They'll come back when people start buying them again.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't gone anywhere. Let's be honest. Look at Lunar or Penguin. They're still there. There's tons of them. If you want to see more, buy more of them. That's really the answer.
Yeah. How you spend your money is very important. That's super important. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest deals. So, but I do want to remind everybody again, the Discord is open. If you guys have any thoughts on this stuff, call in, let us know what you think about AI art, and how you see it moving forward in the future. I think it's a very important question that we're going to continue to keep an eye on, and the community is certainly talking about it in a heavy way. Very heavy.
On that note, real quick, did anybody see what happened with Brian Polito today and yesterday with the
No.
Paulo Pantanella cover?
No.
I tried to find it again today. It was either in a Coffin Comics group or on his page or something, but somebody publicly accused Paulo Pantanella of having a Lady Death cover that was... So Brian put it up. That's going to be for sale. A bunch of people jumped on and accused him as AI. Brian, good on him. There's a reason why he's the one of the godfathers of comics right now. He goes in there and he makes a separate post and he says, Paulo, you've been accused of this being AI. This is your chance to respond. Everybody keep it civil. And boy, the comments in there were people that had tons of evidence. And at the end of the day, there was some artist, Anna Zuo, good for her. She had the courage to go after him with facts and photoshops, and it was fantastic to watch her go to work. And at the end of the day, Brian made a post today that said, this will not be published by Coffin Comics. And then somebody asked him in the comments, what's your stance on AI? And he said, my action is the answer. That's it.
Chad Cave with the $10 super chat says, I like covers.
We know Chad.
I know you do, brother. We all know you do. You're the best, brother. Here is the cover, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that face was a face that was on a Wildstorm cover that he admitted was generated with AI. And when you line them up in the comments, you line them up face side by side, it's the same face side by side.
So can you take so you can take specific aspects with the AI? I'm only familiar a little with the word generators and things like that. So he can basically start with this face, say use this face, and then add the other elements, and that go from there.
You can, yeah. You can real good, but the stuff you can do with Photoshop, bro, it's crazy what you can do.
Yeah.
You can cut out one specific part. See, I think that's the face right there that he admitted was AI.
Yeah.
And then that was just, and his colorist came out. His old colorist came out against him also.
Oh,
man. This is a good read. You can do a whole show on this.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of stuff that we're going to see more and more. We're going to see, this is exactly what I was mentioning when I said we're going to see artists that get called out that are going to get caught. We're going to see artists that get called out and show their work and get angry about it. And we're going to see, I hope we don't see this big, huge break or divide. I don't want to see that. Because I thought that there was something very interesting that Boss Logic said once when he was talking about AI art. And he said, he was talking to his other artist friends and he asked them what they thought about it. And they, they said, oh, I don't like it. I don't want to do any of this. What up, Red Hood? How you doing, brother?
What's up, guys?
Just talking about some AI art. So the comment that Boss Logic said when his buddies said why they didn't like it and this and that, Boss Logic said, well, to think about it that way is interesting, but they didn't like us when we came in as CG artists. Nobody liked the CG artists. We all got talked down upon and like we weren't real artists and all this stuff. So at what point is that going to happen to the AI crowd? And I think that's also very interesting to think about too.
Well, here's a big difference. To use Photoshop, you still have, it requires an intensive knowledge of anatomy, composition, perspective, shadow, shading. It's not just type in some words and you get an image out. There's a huge difference. To me, that's not a good comparison. It's not a good comparison. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I just think it's definitely not the same comparison.
Brian, I'm gonna drop the Brian Polito's Facebook post in the chat if any of you guys want to check it out. It is very interesting, and like I said, I think Facebook is kind of becoming that place to talk about all this stuff. It's going to continue. It's very obvious that AI art is coming. It's going to be a big part of the hobby, whether we like it or not. And how we let it into the hobby is also a big deal for people that don't want it there.
Yeah, I encourage you guys too, everyone in the chat, when you get a time, just do a YouTube search for AI legal stuff, because it's not just art, it's music. The music industry is fighting against AI huge. You could go in right now and generate a song that sounds just like your favorite artist.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's awesome, dude.
Is it awesome though?
No, it's awesome
from
not thinking about the ramifications, being immature and laughing at it.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But then when you go, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're like, man, I feel bad for that artist because you can just make a song of him. So
yeah, no, I want people to continue to do AI so they can get called out on it and get busted. That's the aftermath is the best.
Yeah, it just like we said, man. Just don't lie about it.
Yes, that's the important thing to me. Just don't lie about it. Yeah.
No, I want them to continue to lie. So like you find out when this type of shit is going on. You find out what people are really about. You know what I mean?
I just made a post about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want people to draw a book, bro. I want people to write good books. That's all I want. I want to be able to open the book.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I think that there's something about comic books that it's about artistry, right? And that fact is the artistry part is so important. So I think in order to be let into the field, there's got to be some artistry involved with it, right? It's okay. Again, back to that using it as a tool and how that is and how you use it. I'm gonna bring up Television again. I really like what he's doing with Blank Canvas. I'm really looking forward to see where that goes. But he uses it all and you can tell the artistry in it still, if that makes sense. But you have to be honest with it at the same level to let people realize, see how you're using, you are being an artist with it, if that makes sense also.
Yeah. How, if you are trying to incorporate it into your art, how? Just be upfront.
Yeah.
Be upfront. If you have to make up a fake artist name or make up an imaginary colorist that's suddenly taking your stick figures and making them look like art germ covers, you owe people an explanation for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, Sean, you've got a way to tell if people are using AI?
Well, I don't. There's websites out there, bro, where you can use it. The one I recommend the most is Hive. I've been playing with them for the last 3-4 days.
Damn.
There's a few out there that are really hit and miss, and it's still not 100%. You really got to do your due diligence. But if you're suspect, you can put it in there, and it's got to be a clean screen grab. It can't be a picture of a comic, because the way it works, it detects pixels and some other stuff in there. It's fascinating how it works. I did a deep dive into this whole thing, how it works, the technology behind it. New York Times did an article about it. It's pretty awesome.
Wow. You know what I would do? Like if I used it and I found out an artist, like a premier artist, was using AI, I contact him and say, hey man, I don't want any money and I don't want you to draw anything for me or anything. But what I do need is about 1,000 bags and boards. Right? Hook it up. You know what? Bags and boards are expensive, bro. Don't give me any books. Don't sign any books. Give me some E. Gerber full back, 2 mil.
Overkill.
1,000. And I won't say anything.
We all know your price.
No, man, I'm just kidding.
We all know your.
I was looking at prices of full bags. Jesus Christ, man! I have to kill somebody to get a full bag.
I got a bunch in my warehouse.
Aren't bad. Full bags are charging $1 a board, dude. Fuck that, man.
I'm looking at your shelves back there. Where do you want to trade? I got a warehouse full of those.
Are you going to San Diego this year, Sean?
No, man. No way. Staying far away from that.
Do you ever go to San Diego?
Away. Oh, man, I've gone like 12 years in a row. I think I lived there for a long time, so I went, and then, last time I went there on a whim, I had a 4Runner. I drove my 4Runner from Indiana to San Diego. Didn't take anything with me. Just gonna flip stuff while I was there. I flipped so much stuff. We made like 40 grand gross, not net, gross, right? And then I had to buy a trailer to hitch it up to the back to bring all the crap back that I got. We were buying toys from Hasbro, flipping them and auctioning them off. I had people in lines everywhere trying to get books. Remember those Spawns that were super hot?
Yeah.
At the time, I was buying out, people would have print runs. I bought out the whole print run of them. Hey, how many of those can I buy? I only printed 200. I'll take them all. I'll pay a full price. Don't even give me a discount. I'll buy them all for $20 each. Flip them all for $40 each. It's San Diego.
So you were the guy that bought all the acetate stuff, huh?
Well,
you started it.
If it wasn't a bullshit cover, I would have.
Well, do you think it was? Here's my thoughts on this, and I'm glad you brought this up by calling it a bullshit cover. If it wasn't a bullshit cover, I think that if they would have been smart and wouldn't have fucking put the flubs on there. And he didn't lean in. The Black Flag guy didn't lean into being a douchebag. That book would have been talked about in a totally different way.
Yeah, there was. Here's the problem. Jason went about it the wrong way. First off, we all know this, and then there's some things you just can't do. Like as soon as I saw that, I was in line talking to Jim at the time when the store opened up. So I looked at him. I was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's an Aztec cover on the book." And I was like, "Can't do that shit. I'm out of here." And I fucking left. I went back to my booth. I was like, "I don't want no part of that crap." And then these guys are fighting with each other to buy them. Next thing you know, it blew up. And I was like, "You guys are all idiots. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
You guys are all idiots. And then they're selling whatnot for all this money. And I'm like,
well, a lot of people had no idea, acted like it wasn't. So just copies that they hadn't sold in the first place that they just stapled a cover on. And a lot of those whatnot people, because I was there too, they just legit they're so new that they're so in the dark that they have no idea. All they know is they're just gonna, and that goes for the same people that actually buy from them.
No, well, you're right, Sean. You're not Sean. I'm Sean. You're Sean. You're right, because I always say as a seller, you have a responsibility to know what you're selling because your audience trusts you. When you're up there selling something, you're the duty expert on that thing that you're selling, unless you just claim, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, man, but if you want it, you can buy it. I got to know this is a 3M sticky pad, blah, blah, blah. You got to know what you're selling. If you don't, you're an irresponsible seller.
Yep.
And if you're buying from somebody who's an irresponsible seller, you're an irresponsible buyer. So, hey, you know what? Let the knuckleheads flock together. Yeah, go.
Or you're smarter than them and buying something that's worth more, but then they're charging you.
Yeah, well,
yeah, like newsstands.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question. If what the smart part about it was the fact that he had all these books in his garage that he couldn't sell, and he said, "How can I figure out a way to sell this without being?" I think that if he would have, again, if it would have just been the acetate and he wouldn't have had the flub on the American flag and the writing on the back, and then of course all the fallout behind the stage, that book, people would have been copying that forever. We would have seen acetate covers coming back. It would have been talked about as a great idea, because he did something cool to sell his, books that are just sitting around.
Yeah.
But
no, we all do things to try to make our comics a different product. Because you get a product, right?
Yeah.
There's a product. Say there's a comic. There's a product. What else can I do to this to sell it? I can get it signed. Okay. I can put a COA with it. Now it's a different product. I can put it in a top loader. I can get it graded. What can I do to this product to make it better? Good for him for taking initiative. I'm going to put an acetate cover on this and make it a different book. Great idea, but crappy execution.
Yeah.
Completely crappy execution.
Yeah.
Like you said, not only did he insult everybody with the flub on it. I like that word, by the way. I'm going to steal it, flub.
Yep.
Not only did he do that, but the way they sold it was wrong. He let a bunch of people buy it all at once. He was an irresponsible seller.
But the one thing that actually he did have for legitimacy was that he already had CGC copies hanging up.
Yeah.
So he's got a 9.9 hanging on the wall. Like even that could
he could have
any of us that might think that that's bullshit. That's going to convince me. He's already got blue labels up. Okay, I guess this before I looked into it, I found out by noon the same day what kind of shit was happening.
Yeah, I would have had those on the wall. People like, oh, it's got 4 staples in it. I don't give a shit. CGC said this is legit. Yeah. So who are you, Joe Blow, smack talker? CGC said he had all the tools, man. He jacked it all up. He sold everything to 1 or 2 guys, pissed off half the industry, all the collectors. Now they're selling it for all this money. Instant haterade, right?
Yeah.
Instant haterade. So he jacked it up. Plus, it was crappy in the back. Once people found out that it was all wrong on the back, he insulted the whole country.
And then same thing with the whole, even with videos and stuff of the influencers cutting the line and everything else on there.
They ruined it. Those guys
and giving deals to influencers, but not to other people, doubling down on it, going for the next show, just idiotic.
Yeah, he should have set a limit. Yeah, I mean, he's a wreck, man. That guy needs some help. He lost his whole life. Nobody knows the whole story there. Yeah. Did April just leave with Crane? Was it Jason? What's the other half of the story? Good on Crane for keeping his mouth shut about it. Like really,
yeah, that's about the only thing he could do.
Yeah, no matter how much crap Jason talked about him, Jason wound up embarrassing himself more and more and more. And everybody saw him at MegaCon, passed out drunk at his booth, and it's like, somebody help this guy, man. Like, save him from himself. Come on.
Yeah, he's like Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Pretty much, yeah.
With Gamora.
Yeah, he needs a quest to wake him up.
Well, you can't fuck with wizards, man. Clayton Crane is a wizard.
Yeah, he's a mad magician, bro.
Yeah.
Is it true he wears a cloak?
Trench coat mafia.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like fucking Dracula and shit like that?
Actually.
Yeah.
Hey, these artists, man, all of them are eccentric in their own way. That's why they're artists. They got that eccentric artist brain, That's why none of us can draw.
That's why AI is there, yeah.
No, I remember when we were all hating on Crane, and then it took a couple of months. He put a badass cover out, and we're all, hey man, you see that cover Crane did?
Yeah, I love his art. I love his art.
And we just forgot all about it. Hey, but he took that dude's man. But did you see that cover though, bro?
I know. But again, like nobody knows how long that was in the works and what else has been happening. Like no one knows the whole story. We never will.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
I don't know if I want to know that story. I'll just say that.
Honestly, it's none of our business,
Yeah.
Hey, Before I forget, did you guys see the negative space Werewolf by Night cover?
It was like that weird off green, right?
Bro, I hit a big leg yesterday, and I couldn't believe they were on the rack. And I told my buddy, I go, "What's up with this?" And he goes, "Oh man, that A cover's got the first Black Spectra or whatever,
Yeah.
you know." And I was like, "Fuck that! That's the cover." You know what I mean? So I don't know if you could pull it up right now, but I picked up 2 copies, and the other ones had some kind of spine tick issues. I'm not like some tick issues, but man, it's an easy book to press. I mean, it should be a layup 9.8, man.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting how those John Tyler Christopher negative covers, they're starting to use them more and more as just like B covers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because he could be making a killer amount of money on it.
I'd say Marvel's the pro of that, bro. Marvel will take a great idea. Look what they did to the Gleason Webhead covers.
Oh yeah,
they put them on a man thing. I mean, come on, like they take the hot artist. DC's just as guilty of it. Prio can draw some of those beautiful women around. Let's have him draw Superman. Like what? So they take these guys and they use them to shore up sales on their weakest titles. Which is just stupid. God, it's so stupid.
Yeah. I think that DC and Marvel would, if they would pay somebody to just tell them, like, this is what you should have as your ratio, your 1-in-25. This is what you should have as your 1-in-50. This should be your A cover. This should be your B cover. It would help them out so much.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. In hand, it looks so much better, man. I mean,
it's a weird off green in hand.
Dude.
Yeah.
I like how Marvel's doing the minimal DC trade dress with that too. That's kind of
cool.
Yeah. What up, Yeezee?
Wait, hold on. I messed up something.
All right.
You just got here. Can't take this guy anywhere.
Yeah, but I think people are going to fall asleep on this book. I really do.
There's some interesting books out this week. That's for sure.
It's kind of pricey. It's $9.99, but man, you just put it away and maybe get one graded. But it's the first time I've seen a negative space on the Wolfie, man. It's pretty cool.
And then also an open order as well.
Yeah, right. I think you can still get them at cover, but man, it's.
Have you seen the Blade one?
No, is it good?
I like the Werewolf by Night.
Oh, okay.
When did the Blade one come out this week?
I don't know if it came out this week or if it's coming out next. Well, I think they were both on FOC at the same time. It's been too long.
Yeah,
I guess it's been a month, right?
Yeah, it has been. It's been a bit. All right. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about. I do have a market report to go through tonight, so I want to run through that with you guys and get your thoughts and ideas on some of these interesting sales that I saw over the weekend. So why don't we get into it? Let's get into a quick rundown of the market report. Sean, anytime you got to bounce, it's just customary just to let us know and throw up the deuces, and we'll give you an outro. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to stick around as long as you want, brother.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I can
stick around. This is the best part of the show, bro. Market report, bro.
Before you jam, I could send you that Blade cover if you want to see it real quick for comparison.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just pulled it up. Here, I just Facebooked it to you, Brian.
Okay. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I forgot we got the guy with the connects over here, bro.
Yeah, I just have a diamond account.
Hey, what was the?
Which was saying a lot a little bit ago, but not much now.
Oh man,
that was FOC. It comes out in store 7/19.
That is fugly.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Ooh, why is he so skinny and old? Is that
square?
Bro. Yeah, why does he look like an action figure?
It's only
because he's in negative space.
It's $4.99 though.
Oh, yeah. It's $4.99. Okay.
You know they say AI art. That's FU art. Fucking
basura.
It's trash, bro. Hot garbage.
It's better than the Momoko cover.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, Momoko, man, she's actually put out a couple of good covers lately. I'll give her that.
She has.
All right, let's get into this for the market report. We got some interesting stuff here. Starting off with some cool variants that got dropped this week, or not this week, but got sold this week. I love that Memetic issue number 1, the sloth cover, but $400 raw for that book right now.
Jeez. Wait, hasn't that book always been relatively high?
I didn't remember it was that high, dude.
I think a lot of them were selling like at the peak of everything, though, right? To like at all-time market prices, high prices. So
I'm just telling everybody. I'm telling myself, constantly trying to tell myself, any of those prices from 2 years ago, you just got to take them out of your head. It was
right. No, I agree. No, I agree with that statement, but like that's kind of what drives it too, right?
Yeah.
Of, like looking at previous sold.
Oh, that's the ratio, wasn't it? That's the ratio for it.
Yeah.
It's 1 in 20.
Yeah.
A 9.8 is up right now for $1,400.
Wow. It's a cool cover. It's a sweet cover. It's a lot for a raw book. The 9.8 of the all-new Ghost Rider number 1 in 25. We talked about a 9.6 last week. That was for sold for a lot, but here's a 9.8 for $1,530 on that.
Dang.
Great, killer Robbie Reyes book right there.
Dude, I can never find that in the wild, and that print run is huge, right? It's like,
I don't know, like that. It seems just as rare as the 1 in 50 for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I guess only stores that ordered 50 was enough to get both. They never came on the extra diamond sales or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get a while ago, I think, but they sell so much so fast. It just always leads me to believe something's going on with the Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was
a lot of his books are moving. Somebody knows something, dude.
Yeah, they've been going
right, Joe.
I like the second print in number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's for value.
There's also a newsstand out there, and then in my opinion, I think it's the best Scotty Young cover of the open to order covers. Or it wasn't actually open to order; it was actually a percentile qualifier. Is that little baby Reyes?
The Labyrinth?
Yeah,
that thing. Not the rabbit, not the Hastings.
Hastings. Okay.
The other one where he's in the car, dude. That
thing
It reminds me of the moped he recently just did. It's really cool.
I think Ghost Rider covers are. It's hard to beat Ghost Rider covers, man. There's so many good ones. Last couple of years.
You got to have like a really particular taste with Ghost Rider covers, right? Because there's so many good ones. It's like, how do you?
Yeah.
So with the Felipe Smith cover, there's 25 9.8s on the CGC census, 81 total graded.
Wow, that's not much.
No.
And then I'm guessing this variant edition is the 1 in 50.
Yeah.
There's 24 9.8s, 58 graded. So it's pretty close, like Sean was saying.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's only one for sale right now on the Bay for $3,000.
Wow, that's a great book, man.
Who wants to buy it right now? Go for it.
I want, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna be looking around San Diego for Ghost Rider variants. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Stan Lee Spider-Man Doodle, the Stan Lee Spider-Man Doodle that multiple people have. I know multiple people that have this. But look how much just the doodle sold for.
Wow, not even on a comic, just on a piece of paper.
At least it has a sticker that, that's authentic, right?
That could be from Frankensons like 10 years ago.
I know. Didn't I say Stan Lee's signature and later, like so many people were copying it? I mean, how do we even know that's legit?
That's pretty legit. You can
that doodle is something he does quite often.
Plus it's got the Anastasia sticker on it. Now that helps a little bit.
Gotcha.
Anastasia Collectibles in the corner.
Yeah, good point. I missed that. Okay.
But the stickers are what got copied.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Shit.
They had the whole big mess down here. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Or I forgot about it.
Seems sus now.
Yeah, $11.25 for a Stan Lee doodle. Maybe those are something that's worth having.
42 bids too.
Yeah, it's nuts. All right, moving on. This is cool. You guys are gonna love this. A ticket stub of WrestleMania 1985 signed by Hulk Hogan. sold for $458.
That's a good.
Cool.
That's
A
fucking cheap.
bargain, man.
That's fucking cheap.
What number was 85? Must have been
three,
Yeah.
4 maybe. Yeah.
Well, WrestleMania 1 was in 83 or 84?
Well, they did it. They were on tour for like a year. There was a conglomeration. Then 2 was King Kong Bundy. 3 was He Slammed Andre in the Silver Dome. 4 was Mega Powers Explode. But I don't remember where that was. No, 4 was the tournament. 5 was Mega Powers Explode. 6 was the Ultimate Warrior beat him in Sky Dome.
85 was WrestleMania 1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
March 31st, 1985.
Dude, we all could have owned a WrestleMania 1 ticket signed by Hulk PSA graded for $450.
That's actually not bad.
Not at all.
That's something I would buy.
Hell yes.
That's something I would buy.
That's with Hogan and Mr. T?
Yeah, against Mr. Wonderful and Hogan and Mr. T against Mr. Wonderful and Roddy Piper.
Wow.
As a tag team.
Look at that, pulling those memories out of nowhere, man. Way back in there.
I had to Google it.
Listen, there is a lot of you guys. The nerds are in full effect, and I'm gonna give the nerds a little bit of love for the Star Trek Year 5 #1 Captain Kirk Tribble cover that's signed by William Shatner. You guys, that probably will be the only nerd book you guys ever see me own, because Star Trek is for nerds.
Did you buy that?
No, I wish, but that's a great buy, dude. That's the Tribble variant signed by Captain Kirk for $286 on a 9/8 signature series.
Dude, that's like a $250 sig, dude. Much less a 9/8 Tribbles cover.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably easily or I mean his signature might even cost more than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of times he's like the headliner at whatever convention that he's showing up to.
Yeah, and they're all pre-sold too.
Right. And I always feel like it's a little tougher to try to get a CGC witness to wait in line with you for a signature like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know, did he ever do one of those mail away CGC ones? That's almost where I think is more likely.
Some of those big cons, they have CGC on the way out.
Yeah.
They said that for Stanley. On the way out, they'd stop you and be like, "Do you want this signed?" And then
verify. Yeah, but I mean, how common would it be for a Star Trek actor?
I know, right? Well, I don't know. I haven't. He doesn't look like he's gonna be around too much longer.
No, I agree.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll give the nerds a little love.
Oh, someone's saying in chat that it's about $100 last year.
There we go.
Okay.
Not bad. Still a good deal.
Yeah. I thought it was in the dip.
9/8 plus grading fees. Yeah.
To me, this next book was a great buy at $340. Yeah. A 9/8 of the Dave Johnson Spider-Gwen 16. Such a classic, just beautiful cover. And then to have it signed by Shamik Moore, who did the Miles voice for a 9/8 signature series for $340 for that book. That book was selling raw for that, a few months back, if I remember correctly.
It was a $1,500 raw book.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Tim Walker's. That's fine. Because my friend sold it because none came to market, and all he does is overprice things, and none of those came out. None of them really come to market. It is kind of rare. I'm not even sure if it's the only variant for number 16. I don't know why I feel like there might be more. And because I know that Tim sold it. And I remember the people were like, it was on the con wall for like 1,000 or something like that. And I remember even looking at it, debating. Again, this was probably 3 years ago.
Well, 9/8s were going for $800, a few months ago too. So that's a big drop, just in price.
Yeah. Just a tough auction book, man.
Yeah, but
that's got the Spider-Man label too on that. It's a nice touch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So sold on Monday at some point also.
Yeah. Goodbye.
His auto was only like $70, I want to say.
Yeah. This is a great buy too to me. A Fantastic Four 39, the classic Doctor Doom over the city cover, and a double cover for $287 on that book.
Wow, what a deal.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
So that's straight to grading.
Yep. I'm pressing and grading. How about this one? The Hack Slash Annual #1, the Seeley variant, the famous Seeley variant. Tim Seeley and Hack Slash. Man, Tim Seeley was doing Hack Slash, G.I. Joe. He was doing some of the best comic book work at that time. And this is one of the rarest Hack Slash covers. Sold for over $2,000 for a 9/8.
I've never seen that cover.
Yes, it's literally impossible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Suicide Girls, huh? I have to do an homage to it.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
That's great.
Well, just don't put foil on it.
Foil.
I'll make it AI and put acetate on it.
Yeah.
Probably the original owner of the Suicide Girls bought it.
Yeah. 1952 Casper the Friendly Ghost #7. Look how nice that copy looks, but what a great cover, the all orange cover with the skeleton. To me, that's a beautiful book. I would love to own a book like that, man, for $284. I feel like that's a great little pickup. Nice. All right. Next, Resident Evil #1, the famous Sienkiewicz video game promo cover. Such a tough book to find in any grade, yet alone a 9/8. There you go, 860 on that book. One of the toughest Resident Evil pieces of memorabilia you could find right there.
I wonder how many of those are on the census.
That's a good question.
I can look it up.
You got it real quick, yeah.
That came with some propaganda pieces, some pieces of, like, give us your name and number and we'll send you more information. And it had like, congratulations or some little pieces on there. So those are hard to find too. Be on the lookout for those. That is a tough book to find in high grade. That's for sure. There's a story about it. We talked about it like a year ago about how that book was made and how Sienkiewicz they reached out to him to do it and they needed it so quickly. And it became the cover of the video game back then too. So
awesome.
You find any of that yet, Adam or Aaron? As I'm looking at Adam's Awesome Sauce Radio.
Is this the volume 2?
No, volume. It's from 1996. It's the video game promo.
Okay.
So, Daredevil Volume 2, 9, 10, and 11, all 9/8 for $304. To me, that's still a good buy. I still think Echo is maybe worth taking a $300 flyer on 3 of the main books for 9/8.
And just for the David Mack art alone in 9/8.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, I agree with that, Brian.
I mean,
I'm not going to say anything because I'll make people mad and they'll hit me up on IG.
Joe's like he's the Echo franchise promotion manager.
Yeah.
Oh man, what are we doing?
Well, that 9/8 #9 was selling for what? What was it selling for at a high? Like $1,200? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of money.
It's a buyer's market, I'll tell you that.
I got 2 newsstands in here.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Is that the 1998 Wildstorm Resident Evil?
Nope. It's Marvel, I believe.
It's a Marvel? Okay.
Yeah,
Marvel.
1996 Marvel.
Oh, okay, I got it. And then there's 190.
Wow.
On the census, there's 25 9/8s.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Oh wait, 205 total. There's a handful. There's 15 signature series.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a book to own right there.
Yeah. And then talk about a book to own. I've been seeing the Nabisco Wolverine variant show up like 4 or 5 times over the last month. That book is crazy expensive right now. But this is the other Wolverine crazy variant, Wolverine 102.5, but the Vallejo cover. It is so damn rare. This is a green labeled 8.0 that sold for $338, and I am so mad I missed out on this. Such a great deal on that book. That is such a rare book, man. Another send away book right there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's green label because of signature.
Yeah. Yep. The Vallejo signature.
When you sent away for it, did it come back signed or?
That's a great question. Let me take a look on that real quick.
If that's a I can't tell. I don't remember on this book. If that's a hologram sticker, then probably, but I don't know.
So Recalled Comics, my favorite, one of my favorite all-time comic books website, said this was a mail-away comic for the Fleer trading cards produced for Marvel and apparently fits between Wolverine 102 and 103 for continuity purposes. It was written by Slott with art by Buckingham and the Vallejo cover, as well as being pretty rare. It also is an unusual comic as each page is also depicted on the back of 9 trading cards from the 1996 Fleer Ultra set.
No way.
Yeah, each page is trading cards. That's nuts. There's also a Wizard authentic variant of this comic which sports a holographic logo on the cover and is signed by Vallejo. So there you go.
Someone in the audience had it.
Wow. Congrats on that. That's super cool. That is super cool. I'm always looking for that book. Always. Next. Oh, man. Talking about facsimile covers the other night. These facsimile books sell, and I don't get it. And I don't understand why somebody would buy a signed facsimile of this by Stan Lee and Lin Wein when you can buy a regular version for $610, I feel like.
Of what?
But it's not a 9.8.
Of 181?
Yeah, like a raw version of 181 for
like a
$600. Yeah.
I don't think you're getting one.
No?
I don't think you're getting a 1.0 under like 1,800.
Holy shit, it's that much?
At least one that presents.
It's the highest it's ever been right now.
Yeah, it's skyrocketing now, man.
7.5s are like $5,000, right?
You can't
I
really
got
get those.
a 7.5. I should send it off for auction.
Bro, the 180s, that's the buy right now, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I agree.
You mean the cameo?
It's been the buy.
Oh, you're certified on that one.
Yeah, the cameo where he goes, "I'm Wolverine, and I'm covering this whole page. It's me."
Yeah,
they're going to tell you that the next book is my first appearance, but it's this one, the one I'm in, saying I'm Wolverine.
Well, Barbara will say first. We'll say first appearance for 180.
Yeah, you know who says that? It's people who don't own any 181s.
No, people will get mad if you start saying 180s the first appearance, man. They're all like, "Hey, fuck you! I've got graded slabs of 181. I'm gonna kill you, Red Hood."
Do we want to census count on that book? No, I'm just joking.
No. Vengeance number one.
Sorry. Here's a 1.8 181. You can buy it for $2,000.
Oh my god! I didn't realize that it was that high for shitty versions of that book.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe
one
that is a
with
good
4
buy.
signatures asking a fucking 2038 price is me.
Nice.
Bro, the only way to make that, if you got a 1.0, man, you need to get the artist to like write a whole paragraph. You know what I mean?
They're dead now.
Or a poem to level up that book. You know what I mean?
Which artist?
I don't want to touch, bro. You have to know like some necromancy prayers, or hire the guy from Reanimator to make it actually work. To get done, dude.
Ramita's gone. Trimp is gone. Lin Wayne's gone. Stan's gone. They're all gone now, man.
Well, so I got one online for $20,000.
So my buddy's
go get another, dude. I dare you.
My buddy, he owns a local LCS here. Shout out Steve. He's waiting on the Hugh Jackman auto. So he had Stan Lee on the 181, and I think the book was a 6.0, and he's just waiting for Hugh Jackman. So it'll be Hugh Jackman and Stan Lee dual auto on a 181.
Wow, 6.0. That's cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I need to send my shit in.
Vengeance number one, the Diodato variant, is one of those books that I thought would always sell, and it's even starting to drop a little bit. I mean, $455 for this. This was such a crazy book. What was this at its high leg? Do you remember?
$2,000 in 98.
Yeah,
I think maybe actually more, maybe like 3 or something like that.
I think it was approaching 3, but I think it peaked out like 23, 25, somewhere around there.
So
somewhere in there. It's a tough book.
If America Chavez rumors start showing up that she's going to be part of the Young Avengers, shouldn't people be buying this book? This book is on such a dip right now.
The problem is people didn't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She already had a shot. It's already over. Same as Riri. Unfortunately, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Small sample size.
She had her moment.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying Cell can't be a great character. That they can't do it better. That there's not years ahead of these characters. And I don't like to tie everything into movies, but it's just nobody. I don't think people are going to be that excited soon, anytime soon.
I don't think it was sorry.
I'm not saying now.
Yeah, I just don't think it was the right time to sell it now, based on people's rumors, right?
I wouldn't sell it now. No.
Yeah, I would wait. I would wait until the movie actually releases, and a bigger general audience, or there's like whatever buzz or excitement, if there's any, from anyone.
Are you guys still holding Ahsoka, or are you letting it go after?
I'm holding, man. That trailer looked great.
Oh my god!
I want that book.
I'm thinking about selling my Heir to the Empire.
Thrawn.
I know that Star Wars villains do well traditionally, right?
I would sell Thrawn right now for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want it to end up being like a Cad Bane situation, right?
Yeah. No, I think Thrawn's going to be a big character, but I think now is probably the best time to sell that stuff. But Ahsoka, I don't know, man. I have one of the first appearance, not that one. I would love to have that one, the 1 in 1,000. Yeah. But for $1,100 raw, whew.
Yeah,
I mean, she's on the cover. They're limited to it. There really are 1,000.
Beyond.
There's not. You're not gonna just stumble on a raw 9.8 of that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and that book was traditionally selling really high, right? Like 10 grand in a 9.8.
Yeah.
Take what you can get, and you know what? If you can sort of get a wash at today's value with the raw and a grade, the book's a hold. Yeah, it is to me.
Would you rather have that or a newsstand #1?
I'd rather have a newsstand.
1,000 for this.
The variant.
As long as it's at least 9.6. 9.6 or higher for
grades can matter, but I mean, then there's more than 1,000 of the newsstands though. We've seen a lot of them, so
yeah, I think
so. It makes it more rare, and it's a different cover, numbers on the cover. But yeah, the newsstand, it's tough. And 9.6 in the newsstand is going to be extra. 9.6 in this or newsstand are going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Then, I think that show is going to be phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, me too.
The regular cover, the regular cover and the newsstand, they have the same paper. They press a whole lot better than this thing does.
Yeah. Next, how about this beautiful Elephant Man #31, the J. Scott Campbell 1 in 15, the naughty variant. It's such a tough book.
Yeah.
Unbelievably tough.
Redhead's mad at you now for talking about this.
Yeah,
I need that one, man.
You looking for this one, huh?
Yeah, I'm pressing that one for Stein, man, and I was like, that fucker's got this one, man. God damn it, man.
You all saw I did. I dropped it, but I'll give you what you paid for it.
Why? Because you know he spent less than $5.
I swear to God, Stein sent me a rack of books, and it's every book that I need, and I'm like, you fucker, dude. You know,
you just message him back. How much do you want for some of these?
Man, I could get on that long short and Stein ghost books with him and just show Stein's ghost books.
Yeah.
How about
be funny,
this
bro.
one?
That'd be hilarious, Hood. That would be one of the funniest things ever, dude. If you act like Stein too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about Blip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, the whole lot for $676.
That's crazy.
That feels low, right?
It is.
I don't know. Is it? What was Blip 1 selling for at its high?
It really depends on the grade because that blip can go like, it can go really high or like, I think you can even get like $60-$80. The guy listed it near Mint Plus though.
Yeah.
So if you get a 9.6 out of that blip, you're probably #1. You're probably paying for the whole thing.
Yes, that's a great buy in that matter. And the rest of those are tough to come by too. But the #2 is a great book if it's on high grade. So, man, nice buy. Scud the Disposable Assassin #1. That's an all-time great book for me. I'm just totally remember being a kid and thinking about that book and always seeing it in Wizard. But here's a 9.8. That's a tough book to find in high grade because it's got like that cardboard cover and it gets its spine ticks really bad. $600 for a 9.8 for that book for tough Grail book, classic indie.
You know what I would do? I would look at the seller of this book and then see what other books that seller has.
I do that all the time, especially when I find Yeezys. Yeah.
If that, if that's a ghost and it's hard to find in high grade, I bet you he's got some other
cool
other bangers on listed. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think Scud had the first ever action figure cover. Not this one.
Yeah.
Not action figure like blister pack.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not this cover.
I think you're right.
I forget what number, but they were really easy flips.
Yeah. There's another one of the Vengeance of Moon Knight #1 Virgins, which are so beautiful. Another one sold for $1,275 on 40 bids.
Jeez.
Yeah. Talk about a ghost. And there you go, Sean. The He-Man and the Masters of the Universe #1 Dodson 1 in 25, a 9.6 for $572.
Love that.
Yeah, I told Philip don't get rid of that 9.8 for 750, but he's a little impatient on things.
Yeah,
if he doesn't have a big one up or something like that. So I don't know. I got the 9.8 years and years ago because this is more rare than the Skeletor than the Wilkins Skeletor. Like I don't care. I don't care what you say, dude. That thing the Skeletor comes up way more. It's not a better cover, but this is also She-Ra's best cover and her first cover that wasn't a movie comic given out in the movies or a mini comic, obviously with the toys. Those don't count.
Yeah.
But the one from the movies, that was if you could get it without popcorn butter, that's all right. Secret of the Sword.
But
it's a full-size comic, so to me it counts.
Usually I run into other people with the names Bryans, but when you got two Seans on the show, I will start referring to Big Leg as Big Leg and Sean as Sean. So
I like the other way. Sean, what do you call leg? Shoe-on?
Sean.
Just the way it's
all we need is a scene.
Yeah, we need a scene. Then we got the Sean.
We got it covered over here. Yeah.
the Sean Trinity.
Yeah. Sally Forth #8 and 9.6, one of the rarest Adam Hughes covers of all time. Such a tough find.
Tough 9.6 too. Can't even find them.
Yeah.
Shikari's working on a She-Ra cover right now. Super
no
excited
shit.
about it.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, working on. He did the Tila and the Skeletor.
I remember the Tila and the Skeletor was great too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be cool.
How about this one? The famous Sailor Moon #1 San Diego Comic-Con variant. Another one sold quickly. Somebody snagged it as soon as it jumped up there, I imagine.
Yeah, that doesn't go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one of those rare San Diego books. And then Momoko. I think that was like one of Momoko's first books out here, right? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100.
It's one of her early works that she got
American works.
When she got more notice and stuff like that. Because I want to say like Hive was doing books with her before that with like the No Heroine and I don't remember what other titles that they worked on with her.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful, beautiful book right there.
Oh yeah, I have one right here.
Nice, you got one. I didn't know you got one.
Yeah,
have you always had it?
I've always had it. Yeah, I bought it from the store directly right before she exploded, and I was like, kind of like when she exploded, I was like, damn it, I wish I bought more than one.
Did I press that one for you, bro?
I
think I did.
You might have actually, or I might have sent it to you and you screened it and said it doesn't need a press.
Is yours a signature series?
I wouldn't
Aaron?
tell you that.
Nah, it's a blue label.
Does she sign when she signs her books? Does she use her little symbol thing that she uses? And is it like does she sign it small?
Like
I don't know.
So this is a piece of OA. Like
hold on. Let me take this stuff down. All right.
Like that, her kanji symbol.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's so cool, man. If she signs with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool, man. Hopefully she does sign with that. Something is Killing the Children #6, the 1 in 25 Frizzen color splash foil.
That's way down.
That is way down.
Uh-huh.
I got 2 at the store I was sitting on, and that's stupid. That was a bad call.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I have one. It's hard to find. It's hard to get.
I remember they were like 2K.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah, they were like 2K approaching 3 at one point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that hurts. That hurts. Do you guys think that there's a chance for those to go back up?
I think there is. If they do the show right.
Yeah.
Or just any like more confirmation besides just like announcing of like direction change and production change or whatever.
Once you see a trailer or a teaser.
Or even like character announcements of who's going to be the actors.
Yeah. I mean, if they do the show right, I mean, somebody may punch me in the face for this, but I think it has the potential to be like a Stranger Things type of awesome series. You know, if it's done right. Key, if it's done right.
Or if it gets more than one season.
Well, yeah. Of course.
yeah, I agree. All right, this is some cool stuff. Check this out. You guys know I love the blacklight posters, and a bunch of them sold this week.
God, look at that.
Yeah. I love those things, man. They're so cool. I will eventually have a couple of them behind me. We'll see if I can find any in San Diego, but a bunch of them sold. 2 of the Spawn Mortal Kombat Final Combat books sold. The variants, super rare variants. One sold for $12.36 and one sold for $9.69. Yeah, those are tough books. And then whoever got this, I think it was a great buy. The G.I. Joe 21 Turner Renegar Silver Foil Edition. It's a 9.4, but that book got misstamped on most of the books. The foil is stamped. It's off. So finding that in a high grade is super tough. But for $525, I think that was a great buy. I think that got picked up very quickly. A tough graham crackers book. All right. How about old school Inspector Gadget toy from 1983? $250.
Wow, I've never even seen that.
Yeah, man, I love Inspector Gadget. $250.
Accessories.
Yeah.
83. Good Christ, I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
40 years ago.
I have the theme song stuck in my head now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then some Brazilian G.I. Joes. Now, look how bad those G.I. Joes are. They're falling apart, broken limbs. But what people don't realize is that just like we love color variants in comics, they love color variants in action figures. And you've got 3 big color variants up top there. I really love the 2 Tiger Force figures, and then the white and blue variant Scarlet, which is super cool. So $400 for broken, all torn up Joes from Brazil.
25 bids too. They were fighting over it.
Yep. And then one of the coolest all-time Joe vehicles when I was a kid was the Wolverine, because there weren't very many cool chick G.I. Joes, but CoverGirl was always one of the cool ones, and she had this badass like vehicle that shot badass missiles out of it. So I was always a big fan of the Wolverine and the CoverGirl figure. But the $440 for that, man, and it still has the price tag on it from old school, which is cool.
Some kid was so mad he got the girl, he never opened it.
Yeah. And then the Interrogator, the version 2 Interrogator, I talk about that all the time, you guys. This is the variant with all the neon colors on it. Interrogator was such a cool figure. It came with the helicopter that you would pull the little plastic piece and it'd fly on its own. And then another, well, for $355 for a loose figure, that's crazy. And then a Ace variant that I've never seen. This Ace variant from 1998. I'm not sure which vehicle it comes with. Chat, let us know if you know, but $209 for that figure.
It's got to be a spaceship, right?
I think. Well, Ace was he flew the F-14 Tomcat, the Sky Striker. So I think they did a F-14 version that didn't look like the G.I. Joe version. It looked more like a real version, and they might have sold that with that version of Ace. Yeah. So 1981 He-Man, the figure from India, though. And I'm showing you guys these. I love to show you these loose figures, guys, without the accessories. And look how much they sell for, because they're so rare. So this is a big deal. If you ever see any of these, you could be holding, you think it could be worth nothing, and it could be worth $204, a quick 22 bids on eBay. And it's in figure from India, so, people are going to think that's probably worth nothing. Brazil, these Brazilian figures, but they're super rare, very rare.
You need to hit some garage sales up overseas, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of overseas figures, these are two grail of grails for G.I. Joe collectors. The G.I. Joe Tiger Force Psych Out, which is a UK exclusive, and then the Outback Tiger Force, which is a French exclusive, and they're both mint on cards. One sold for $520 for the Psych Out and $1,550 for the Outback. Those are big. Yeah, those are big grails for G.I. Joe fans.
Wow.
Yeah. Diablo figures. Everybody's playing Diablo 4 right now. I heard it's really good. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I thought it was interesting to see some of these Diablo mint on card figures sold for just about $1,000 for, looks like 6 figures from Diablo and Diablo 2. So if you have any of those, they're worth some money, some big money. Playmates Toy Fair catalog. Not the toys, just the Toy Fair catalog from 1991 sold for $245. That is crazy to me. But my mom has always been the one that buys me old Sears catalogs for Christmas so I could look at all the old G.I. Joes and He-Man stuff in there. And those things are worth money now, so if you got them sitting around.
But wouldn't this idea be like kind of like a previews idea being worth money?
Yeah. Because during Toy Fair, Playmates would create these catalogs to leave at their desks, and everybody to walk by and grab them and stuff. So, vintage, the real Ghostbusters. These are the Ecto Glow figures, and they're all loose, but they have all their accessories. $1,334 for all 5 figures and accessories. And then this is a big one. Jurassic Park Series 2, this is the Carnosaurus Demon Dinosaur figure from 1994, $2,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jurassic Park stuff sells for so much money.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, all that stuff is crazy, like, how much it goes for. And when it shows up to market, too, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Next, another G.I. Joe figure. This is the Dino Hunters Ambush, sold loose for $234. This is a variant from 1993. And we talked about the Listen and Fun Tripwire last week. Here's the Listen and Fun Cliff Jumper figure from Transformers. It sells for a lot too, $234.
Wow.
And check out this Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, from 1976. Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. It's carded, comes with a different head. Sold for $910.
Not easy, man. I'm dead. That no questions asked.
Yeah.
I wonder if that art on the card is recognizable as if it's just like some stock art.
That's a great point because
who did the art?
Yep. I love seeing the art on some of these toys. I think it'd be great to buy the original art.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No shit.
I always wonder who did the art on some of those cards.
Yeah. Next, we talked about Shepard Fairey and the Obey stuff at some point last week. Here's one of the Obey posters or pieces. It's serial numbered, first edition from 1999, and it sold for $1,080.
That seems low.
Yeah. Well, he got screwed, man. He got sued to hell and back for doing all that and stealing people's. Speaking of AI art, that's one of the reasons why I put it on here is that, he really took a hit on some of that stuff. He didn't make much money off of any of that. He got sued by a lot of people.
Oh, like the because it was the Hope thing, right?
Yep. Well, he did the Hope thing, but he got
sued by the photographer that originally took that picture.
Yeah. And then a vintage Elfgren 1950s pinup poster that is beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous. After the show I did a show talking about booby books, titty books as they're called, and it made me look at my collecting, and I used to, I'll be honest, I used to really look down on not if you liked it, but I just didn't like it. So I wouldn't say you look down. I just thought it was weird. There was some weird stuff about it, at one point. But man, doing a deep dive in it, I have fell in love with them, and I love these old school pinup stuff more and more. Each time that I see the old Elfgren, the old Vargas, the old Olivia stuff. There's some
of that Olivia stuff is still stunning to this day.
Yes. Oh yeah, big time. And a lot of the comic artists that are doing these amazing covers nowadays could be looked at as the next our generation's pinup artists.
Yeah.
And there's some amazing new pinup style art that's coming from the comic world. So be on the lookout for that. But I thought this was funny. A 1970s blacklight poster of Popeye that says spinach power. And obviously you could see I had to blur out one of the main proponents of this poster. Yeah. I blurred it out. $200 this sold for 1970s, you guys. 4 of them.
I'd frame that thing, dude. It'd be
yeah.
Yeah. You don't know, I collect all the classic Popeye shit.
I thought he was holding a baseball bat. That's awesome.
Oh my god. We were talking about Frank Kozik too. He passed away. Rest in peace. Great Frank Kozik, original Dazed and Confused, premiere black line signed artist print from 1993. His premiere poster. That's a cool piece. Dazed and Confused is one of my top 5 all-time favorite movies.
Wow.
$350 for that. I wish I would have seen that.
Have you gone to Austin and hit up all the different spots where they fell?
No, my brother lived out there, and I should have gone out there and done that.
Yeah, because you can actually eat at Top Notch.
Yeah,
the drive-through burger place.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where the Moon Tower is, but they meet up every year, whenever the movie premiered or something like that.
And go watch the movie out there or something.
Something like that, or go drink beer out in the field. So
yeah. All right. How about the final Nintendo Power magazine, still sealed, for $227? I think that's pretty cool.
That's nuts.
Oh,
yeah,
that is cool.
Triple X or XXL magazine, the Eminem Punisher magazine, sold for $139. I think that got scooped up really quick.
That was a steal.
Yeah,
and then because 9/8 of that magazine go for thousands.
Yeah, I think so.
Sheesh.
I think so. Yeah. And then how about everybody talks about Nintendo Power #1. How about EGA or Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine Volume 1 #1? So $250 you can buy in on that. So if you're a video game fan, you're into that stuff, there you go. This is crazy. We know about the rare Nintendo games out there. Earthbound is one of the rare Nintendo games out there. This is an Earthbound ruler that they must have made for the event or something. So for $3,550 just for the ruler from the event.
Good Lord, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Never throw anything away.
Yep. Don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
There it is. What do you think? You think that's real? 55,000
$55K,
for a 9.4. I don't know. The guy has
198, right? What the 98 sell for?
150,000, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't eBay.
Yeah.
It was Heritage, right?
I guess if it clears, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It was a 0. I think it was a 0 feedback seller too, which is very crazy. But 39 bids, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm doubting it. But
with a 0 feedback, with a 0 feedback seller, I would assume it's.
I have to look at the bidding history and see if it's the same dude. Different people, is it different bidders? You know what I'm saying? You can look at that up.
Yeah.
See how sketch it is.
Yeah, to see how many bids on the same.
I think a 7.5 went for $1,500 or $1,000 at this last week too. So who knows, man? crazy numbers on the Nintendo Power. And it's not even the sample copy. It's just a regular. So another great pinup 1936 magazine cover. This is a pulp from 1936, and that's just a killer pinup image. That sold for $565 for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats, Vinny. I don't know if he actually bought it, but like I know that would have been in his realm of things to look for, right?
Yeah,
like based off a time period, what people aren't looking for.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, how about the Kim Kardashian paper magazine in a 9/4 for $1,200?
Oof.
Mama.
Oh, I know someone that bought one raw recently. You'll probably see it soon.
You said raw.
Yeah.
They had to Photoshop all the cellulite out of her ass.
Yeah, they did. That's for sure.
My goodness.
That's not how real. That's not how a real woman with a thick booty's ass looks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right,
I don't even think that's a real ass, my friend.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
It looks real to me. Oh, I better shut the fuck up. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Just
well,
slap it doesn't move.
Yeah, there are a couple more interesting books and sales that I want to go over with you guys. Starting off with a big one, The Amazing Spider-Man 667 Del Auto Raw, sold for $7,255.
Shut up.
Wow.
Worth a gamble. They have 24 pictures there. I didn't look up the listing myself to give an assessment, but somebody probably did. And it seems like a good deal because there's 30,000 in upside in this thing. You see the spine ticks there. Those are going to be a little finger bend. Yeah, he's doing the best to get everything in there. I'll give him that. But with $30,000 upside on him, get lucky on a grade. My question
is though, like, why would you not just send that in yourself though? Like that blows my mind.
All right, but disclosure, we looked at this Monday, and then so it seems like if this was the same dealer, it looks like they just sell raw books.
Oh, okay.
And I met people, we all have met people like that don't give a shit. They sell lots.
Yeah.
Then maybe they bought a collection and just like lucked out with this one book being in the collection and selling all the rest raw, everything else. Probably paid nothing in a garage sale. Yeah. And so when you have the word 12 cents in your comic selling name, you're the kind of guy that might not grade a book.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you just don't like money.
Oh, yeah. We all think they're insane.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, good for the dude that got
like
that.
I get. They got one guy, I met people like, it's just quick. I sell stuff. It takes too long to sell graded books. And it's like, so, dude, all right, yeah, I get it. If you've got thousands of book turnover, you're constantly doing okay. I get it. You leave it up to us.
Yeah.
Other people don't want to do it fast. Leave. But this is an eBay auction. He's not at a show.
Yeah.
Asking for cash. So
he's definitely. I mean, he knows what he's selling, and you're right. It's all raw stuff, but you can tell a lot of it is, spec plays and variants, and so I'd be very interested to know how who the buyer was and if they get something good out of it because it's a killer book. Here's that $55,000 9/4 0 39 bids. Yeah, let's take a look.
Can you even get payment then if you ask? Like
that's what I'm saying. Aren't there restrictions?
Yeah, it went from 3,800 to 55,000. So it sounds like I don't think this guy was maybe thinking it was going to sell for. He thought it was going to sell for more, and probably just shill bid the fuck out of it.
Yeah, that bidding 7.2 looks like that may not be for real because that's what takes the jump, and then he outbids himself, or maybe somebody bid 55.1 and it jumped to 2.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
I think he won, hoping maybe it would go to 55.7. Looks like his buddy, he's gonna owe his buddy $56,000 minus eBay fees.
This is another recent sale. Come on, let's go. What's going on here? There we go. All right, so this is a poster, an antique sword swallowing circus freak lithograph poster from 1900. Check this out, dude. The sword swallower Look at the color on that.
That's an amazing condition.
Yes.
If that's legit.
I want to know what museum they stole this from.
Yeah, I would love to see
the
that.
light.
Does it have a close up of that bottom right corner on another picture? Maybe. I want to see
let's
what
take
that
a look.
bottom
Yeah,
right
hold
corner
on.
says. 'Cause that's where all the info. Yeah, that.
The Donaldson
what,
Litho Company, New York.
Yeah, that's what. Look that shit. You know, when you get time, look
Yeah.
that shit, or if you care, somebody look that shit up and see. You know, did they make them? Is it legit?
Oh man, it's such a cool image. Sold for $500, you guys. $521.
Hey, CGC will grade that shit.
Yep. Yes, they will.
They'll
That's
grade
very true.
anything. You can send your grandma and she'll grade your grandma. Spoiler alert, she's a 1.0.
Would that piece have been better, like, you know, sent to CGC and then like sent to Heritage to sell instead?
Who knows, dude? I can't believe it sold for $500. I would never have sold that thing for $500.
No way.
That's one of the things you're better off sending it to an auction house for sure.
Yes, man. Heritage, yeah.
We're gonna get some eyeballs on it, you know.
I talked about these a few months ago. So these are the Power of the Force 2 figures that came out in 1996. And a lot of people and companies had these signed by the actors that played them in silver, gold pens. And I think they're great buys because most of these guys are dead now. You know, Jeremy Bullock's dead, Peter Mayhew's dead, David Prowse is dead, Kenny Baker's dead. And each one of these is signed.
That's a steal.
Yeah, dude.
$200.
Yep. For $200 for these.
I would have bought that in a minute if I saw those.
Yep. And you can find more of these out there, so be on the lookout. Let's see here. Is it a half circle Boba Fett? No, it looks like a full circle.
Yeah, my buddy, he got a lot of these signed at like shows and stuff like that.
Yep.
Back in the day, so he's got like all of like Princess Leia and all.
And that's the first
Carrie Fisher and all that.
The first edition Vader figure, as you can see, it's got the super long lightsaber in it.
Yeah,
they cut those lightsabers in half. Yeah, hell yeah. So $200 for that, great buy. This has come down in price, you guys, and to me, this was such a cool figure. You know, I'm not a big guy for statues and toys like this, but this is one of the coolest ever like toy things. This is the Infinity Saga Deluxe Iron Man Mark whatever Hulkbuster figure, sold for $250, but it is awesome. And the price I feel like is down when these came out. This is probably like a couple $100 more than.
Oh, so that's $400 or $500 toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like the sideshow ones are the only ones that like kind of like always retain its value and scarcity.
It just depends. That's another thing. We were talking about Sideshow not being at San Diego. Sideshow's actually had some sales lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm a dealer and they have sale emails going out. That's never happened.
Right. Yeah. Because I've always heard from other dealers that, the discount that the retailer gets is not, crap. It's real. Yeah. Yeah. Like the profit margins in that are really small and it's almost like really risky to keep one in store, right?
It's crap, bro. Yeah, it's ridiculous the margin you get.
Yeah,
a $600 statue, you get it for like, I don't know, $475 or something. Like,
yeah, and so like, yeah, but then like at the same time when they do like a bigger discount on that, it's kind of like, well, how long have you been sitting on it now?
Yeah, there's a reason why you still got them.
Yep.
Well, honestly, not that we're on that subject, but there's a lot of these, we call them custom statue guys that are making statues that blow the Sideshow, even the XM stuff blows it away.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I got a bunch. There's Wolverine behind me, some other stuff. They just, I don't even buy the Sideshows, and I'll probably lose my dealership for this, but I don't even buy them anymore. I buy the custom stuff.
Yeah, well, with all the 3D printers and stuff, and
yeah,
all
they'll
that
come
stuff.
out. When Sideshow comes out with like, let's say Rey from Force Awakens or whatever. I remember when that came out, like somebody immediately came out with a better mold of her face, and I was like, "Shit, man, that was pretty quick."
Yeah.
Well, remember when they did the Spider-Verse Miles, and then they
with
have
the shoes?
with the shoes, and then like how fast does someone 3D print, actual like Jordan shoes?
Yeah.
For that specific figure.
Yeah. This is a original cover, you guys, for Secret Avengers 19. The original cover.
Oh,
cheap, man. $3,000.
Yeah,
3,800.
Seems decent.
Can you zoom in on the top of that up there?
Yeah.
There you go. 19 cover. It's on the strapping board. What's the date on that over there? 8/1. Yeah, nice. Jeez.
Yeah.
I want to say shout out Tony for Prospect 10 on this.
Yeah, this was a big spec book for a while, man. When
back in the day.
Yeah.
Or it might have been Long Short. I can't remember. It was one of those two.
Beautiful. Less than $4,000 for a original cover is nice. So, so you get that, and you got the little added things to it. Looks like, so that's cool that they left those in.
But I'm sure like the value would jump up like as we get closer to Moon Knight.
Yeah, there were some great Batman books that sold this week, but I thought this was cool. This is Batman #9 for $3,600 to 4.5. It's got the name on it, Herbie Shogland. Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
1942 on the cover. I just love. I don't know. I love those little things nowadays for some reason. But $3,600 on that. Great book. Great cover. There was a couple other really good ones that sold. Here's some more original art. Check this out. This is Ramita Senior, you guys, for less than $600.
Oh wow.
Yeah, original sketch comic art, Daredevil and Spider-Man, less than $600.
You gotta be kidding, dude.
Yeah, New York Gallery.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, can you zoom in on that stamp in the back?
Yeah.
You see that?
What
look at that.
Okay.
Archive.
What at the bottom right?
Archive certified, yeah.
Oh wow.
Authentic.
Wow.
Authentic. Yeah. Come on, man.
Somebody got a steal, dude.
Yep.
That's in someone's safe now.
Yeah. Well, check this out. How about some more Ramita? How about some Kingpin Ramita? This one went for $5,000.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. That is freaking beautiful, man.
That's phenomenal.
The person that got that $500 one really lucked out.
I was gonna say that's a single character for all intent purposes, right? You got a single character. I mean, oh my god,
it's amazing.
Jeez, man.
I wonder if that guy shipped it. Yeah, we're assuming that everything is like shipped and the guy received his book. Like, he's all, fuck no, I ain't selling this for $500. You're crazy.
That's funny.
Flash Comics 92, one of the all-time classic Black Canary covers, the first Black Canary cover. This is a 5.5 sold for $4,500. What a beautiful cover, man. Just that looks so good.
Yeah. The color's still vibrant on it too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The white is still nice and clean. That's
the staples.
Cover. That presents very well.
Look at the staples, Brian.
Yeah, they're not as rusty as I thought they would be.
Look at the next pictures.
Is the back all jacked up? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
No, it's just they brightened the first picture.
Oh.
It's a good looking 5.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go to.
Oh, look at that. There's what it really looks like.
It's just a scan. I mean, they showed it.
Oh, I was like, how's that a 5.5? That looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of a bummer, man. Oh wow. Good call, Sean.
Well,
good call, Leg.
Honestly, it's probably a mix between the two. Because it's hard. Because look at the flash bounce off of it, and the other one's either a scan or like the phone app scan. Yeah. So you can see a little bit of stain right there.
You could get some of that tanning off, though, man. If
you can possibly, but like if you,
well, that's a bummer.
No comment.
Yeah. Jack Kirby. How about a page of Jack Kirby art for less than $2,300?
Oh, is that
some Eternals or what is that?
Yeah, Eternals.
Yeah.
He-Man prototype.
Yep.
$2 million He-Man prototype.
So when did he draw He-Man?
He was way ahead of his time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. A whole Kirby page. That's nuts.
Still up for bid, or is it ended?
It's ended. It ended at $22.99.
$22.90.
Yeah. But here's the Jack Kirby book that I talk about all the time, you guys, and I want to remind you, if you see these old school Marvel milestone editions in boxes, pull them out and look to see if the Kirby, signature there. The Kirby's at the bottom third of the cover. You can see the numbering there, but it is a Dynamic Forces. So, you could get a Jack Kirby signed book and not, for $5 and not notice it. This one went for $357.
And you see what reprints do, man. Like those just in a bin, just buy them.
Yeah,
I do. I just stack them up.
Yep.
And I've never found one on the autos, but
yep. This is one of my all-time favorite Black Cat covers. Black Cat Mystery number 45. This is the Colorama cover, but that's a LSD trip right there if I ever seen one. For sure.
The start of a bad one, though, right?
Yeah.
That'll go well with your blacklight posters.
Yeah. $426, old school CGC label. Great book. Killer book. Batman 571, the splash page, you guys. Look at this. You got a Bane splash page, double page spread. Bane double page spread from Batman 571 for $550.
Wow.
That's
Look
crazy.
at that.
That's beautiful. We see the
Right?
top of that.
Yeah.
I like the top.
That is just absolutely amazing. So that's the OA stuff that I just geek out over.
It's a good one.
Yep. $550. You guys know this. This guy's a moron, whoever sold it. Sorry to 091 TPM, but you're a moron because you should have led with that.
Harley?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I might as well show the back of it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it'll make somebody want to buy
it. Just maybe.
Jesus.
How'd you find that? That was a good find.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. $900 for probably a 9.6 Harley at worst. Maybe 9.4.
You keep it in there because this is the famous, DC Universe packing style, and this is after they quit doing the DC Universe stuff. But you always be on the lookout for these are the first two black suit Supermans. Always be on the lookout for this on the comic packs. I saw a guy walk into Jesse's shop with one of these trying to sell it back in the day, and I always kept that in my head that if you see the front with these two comics like this, it's the Harley one. So
yeah, I'd be buying this to keep it in there as like a differentiated version of her first appearance.
Yep, definitely. So, how about Edge of Spider-Verse 2 lot for $764? Right, you got the first print.
Oh wow! Second,
third, fourth, fifth, and both of the comic bug variants for $764.
Good deal.
Wow! You almost to complete the rainbow. All you need is 0 and 0 second print, right?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a good deal. Always better getting them either graded or apart from each other. I think the second print is even. Possibly more rare than the 6, but the store exclusive, it was a lot later.
Yeah.
When Sia and Robbie dropped that book, Comic Bug.
It's crazy.
It was a fun day. I was there for release day. Sia and Robbie signed them both.
Nice.
Oh, is it the darker cover? Is it the error on the?
No,
the errors. No,
the
errors all black.
Yeah, it's all
okay.
black, and people when it's dark that it's the error, or that it's all black. And to be honest, it basically doesn't exist. It's so rare to see all black.
Yeah,
all black is where you can't even see the lines of the city.
Yep,
I've seen like 2 of them.
Yep, I've seen one of them in person, and they're definitely out there.
Yeah.
How about some original art from Scotty Young? $332, 9x12 art of old school Nightcrawler. I think this looks like an old school sketch.
That's cheaper than when he was doing the daily sketch thing or whatever.
He definitely charges more now.
Yeah, I mean, because those are like $500 or something like that. Like
being the highest paid Marvel illustrator, also
Oh, is he the highest paid?
He's one of the only people they keep.
Yeah, that's true.
Full time, yeah.
Check this out, dude. This is a 1966 poster of the Neil Adams redesign of Batman, right? I think that's Neil Adams redesign, right? I might be wrong, but
27
anyways,
by 40.
It's on linen. It's a linen poster, linen backed poster. Look at that bottom. Here's what it says on the bottom. It says GNF posters number 420. Look at that, 1966.
Yeah, well, pre-Adams, yeah.
Yeah, pre-Adams. Okay, Adams was 7. What was the Greenland? What was Brave and the Bold? He did Brave and the Bold 76, I think it was. That first Dead Man Batman team up. Wasn't that Neil Adams? I wonder what year that was. Look at that though. That is super cool.
That is really rare. That's unique.
Yeah. $479.
Didn't know it existed.
And with all the foreign craziness going on, how about a vintage Chinese comic from 1955? Look at that crazy cover there.
And it's crazy hard to get comics from China. Like everyone knows that that's within the foreign comic collectors community that ASM, Spider-Man, Chinese books exist, comics exist. They've seen pictures of it, but no one's ever known anyone to actually own a copy.
Wow.
Or who to contact to get, to try to find someone that.
It's sold for $400.
Yeah.
So, and that is the market report, you guys, for July 12th, 2023.
That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah, brother. Sean, thanks for hanging out with us, man. We're probably just going to sit here and bullshit, so you're more than welcome to hang out. You're more than welcome to bounce whenever.
Yeah, let me go take a leak and I'll come right back.
Oh yeah, brother.
You guys have bladders of steel. I'm impressed.
The trick is to use the bathroom before you jump on.
You ever seen
myself with red wine,
what's the movie with Steve Martin and he's Root Prick the Monkey Boy? Do you remember that? And they put a cork on his fork. And because he would always jab it in his eye, and he wore an eye patch.
No, not the jerk.
No, it was. Oh my God! And it had Ian McDermott in it as the Emperor, and Steve Martin. They're eating dinner, and he goes, "Can I use the restroom?" And they said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." And he just sits there, and he goes, "Thank you."
That's good shit, dude. That's
what
shit.
What was it? Oh my! Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? It's
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a great movie with the dude from the people from. Wasn't Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with the dude from Monty Python?
Steve Martin and
Ian McDermott, the Emperor.
Yeah.
What's his name? Wasn't in it? The dude from Cleese, John Cleese. Am I wrong about that?
He may have been also Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, yeah. Michael Caine.
Yeah, the two main characters, Steve Martin and Michael Caine.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
Saw it in the theaters.
Hey, so what do you think of that segment, Brian, that I was pitching?
Tell everybody the segment.
Okay, so my buddy turned me on to this app, right? And every city's got it, and you can download it, and it's anybody that's been thrown in fucking jail, right? So you can see who's been thrown in jail in the last, I think, 10, 15 days. And so, the whole premise, it would be a game, right? And you put the person who got thrown in jail, and you put their face up, and you would have to guess what crime it was. Right? Is that not a game? And it just came to me.
I have a feeling that is
right. Dude. And you pull up some people and you could play by yourself. You pick it up. Oh man, that's a fucking crack whore. Nope, robbery. Right? And it's pull up another one. It's burglary. Nope. Assault. Right? So you just go through, and the girls, man, all of them have this look like they all look strung out and everything. So it's so it's hard to pick them, but you could play for money, dude. Like Bryan could pull up like Arizona, and I could pull up Texas. Sean could pull up, I guess, LA and
what happens
Vegas.
when we see somebody on there we know?
Oh man, that's even better.
Don't look up Houston for the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No hey, anybody that's in jail right now, dude.
What happens when like Donnie Cates shows up on one of them?
Oh, good Lord, man.
Well, we got to look up Austin then in that case, right?
Hey, he's legendary, man. He'll go take a piss in anybody's backyard, bro. Shout out Donnie Cates.
Oh my God.
No, but that's the thing. I want to do that segment, guess the crime, right? And we just throw some crackhead up there, man, and see what they did, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Forging government documents, and you know, it's just like so random, and they all look like strung out crackheads, but like, man, their crimes are all over the place, man. Just
I think you're safe as long as you don't display their name.
So I want to,
just their face.
I've been talking a lot about San Diego the last couple of weeks because I'm kind of on coast mode to San Diego, but even though Sean's not going to be there this year, I know Big Leg's going to be there, but Sean said he's not going to be there with Comix Elite, and he's not going on his own, but he said he's been there multiple times. So this is a great time to kind of talk a little bit about, since it's getting, I mean, I think we're less than a week away almost here. So we've got to talk a little bit about, con survival stuff, what to look for things to make money off of it, autograph and signature series experience. I know Big Leg, one of the things that you're very good at, and you've done it for years, is being able to go there the first couple days and really just scout out some good things to pick up that will pay for half your trip the first couple days, and then the last couple days you're just kind of there to do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, in San Diego especially, if you have a way to get in on preview night, that's good. If you have a way that somebody, that's good. Sean was bringing up buy out an entire booth. That doesn't
happen anymore.
Yeah, not quite as people. Well, I mean, I suppose it could, but people could be on to stuff like that, or geez, with this era of crybabies publicly shaming people.
Yeah,
I mean, they realize you have all 200 copies. That's look like it's sort of an asshole move now, and I don't really think it was before. People were just happy to be able to sell out all of their stuff. Same as like, so stuff like that.
Well, I have a question about that. Speaking about exclusives, because here's the interesting thing. I feel like when you say exclusive, especially for like a con exclusive, that means it's only going to be sold at the con. And I feel like that's out the window nowadays. Somebody says, "Oh, it's a San Diego con exclusive." They might not even be at the con. They're at their house in Delaware selling their books.
I've been going after people for that. So there's a ton of guys that'll do these specialty covers, and they'll say, "Oh, it's an exclusive for whatever show," and I'm like, "Are you even at the show?" And they're like, "Well, no, or I'm going to be there just selling. I'm walking around, but I'm doing a whatnot show at night." And I'm like, "All right, look, stop. I pay a lot of money for a booth, travel, Airbnb to get there, to be able to say I have an exclusive for this show because I'm exhibiting at this show. You're just trying to take the shortcut, and just say it's my show." I go after those guys big time.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy.
That happened. That's happened obviously a lot more over the years, especially a lot with whatnot, but not obviously just San Diego. Oh, we've got the NYCC exclusive, but I'm at home in I don't know, whatever state that's not New York.
Yeah,
it's sitting there and doing the same thing. So that's why I look at it like, okay, is it somebody really going to be there? Is it really an exclusive, or it's just an online book?
I always ask them, "What's your booth number?"
Yeah, that's a good one.
Your booth number.
That's a good one.
I mean, even if you're there with your friend, I mean, there's a lot of shade. Like we said before, man, where there's money, there will be the scammers, right? Mm-hmm. So are you actually there at your friend's booth, or are you just borrowing his booth number? Because, a lot of these cons are starting to crack down a little bit on some of these guys, the Fed Expos and the Repops. that are claiming it's a show exclusive. You got to have their permission. You're supposed to have permission to use their logo, all that stuff, but you can't police everything. That's why it's so important for us to police our own community.
Yes. Amen.
I hate to sound corny, but see something, say something. Like, you don't got to make a public post and call somebody out, but I got tell it to somebody like me who doesn't care. I'll call anybody out. I don't give a shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, just say something.
And that goes for, okay. That also goes for people doing it online. Let's say Mattel or Hasbro. They start selling this shit online the same day that they start selling it on the com floor. I don't give a shit. That's not exclusive anymore, man. That's just an online toy.
Yeah.
And that hurts when you go in there and you think, oh, okay, and I get all excited for something. And then I get an email the same day that says buy it online. I'm like, wait, I can buy online for the free shipping, or I can fucking carry it around all day?
Yeah, well, and Lego used to do the same thing where they would pre-sell all of their tickets to pick up the exclusives. You had a lottery type system or whatever it was. You should just show up at the con with your ticket to pick it up. At least you had to show them up at the con, at least. To get it there, but there was no lining up to get it, part of the, like back to kind of what you said, if you really want to make San Diego worth your while and get in there and make some money, you really can't get in with the normal humans. You got to get an exhibitor pass or something to get in there before the show starts. Like, you talk to your friends, talk to somebody that has a badge. San Diego's super picky about having a name assigned to a badge, but as long as you can get a badge and get in that show early, being able to be there before everybody else. Now, there's good and bad to that, right? To go pro level, you got to have a badge to get in the show. Then you got to have your regular attendee badge to get in line, because what they'll do, most people will do, is they'll say no exhibitor sales for the first hour of the show, because they're getting wise to that. New York's starting to do it also, because exhibitors, they'll just do that. They'll send their employees. I do it. I'm like, hey, you guys go over there and get in line. You go buy those, you go buy those, you go buy those. And they complain because all the exhibitors buy the stuff, which is fair. If I was going to a show, I'd be pissed if the exhibitors snatched everything up, right? So if you want to do it at a super high pro level, that's what you really need. You need the exhibitor's booth. And you need the regular attendee badge also. So that's you got to know people. You're going to spend money, blah blah blah.
And then, and to carry around two badges too at the same time while someone's like standing outside the con or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, most people don't care on that part. But I hear what you're saying, though. You're absolutely right. It's just now, and straight up, is that shady? Probably. All right, I mean, if I don't just. Whenever I was going to San Diego, I don't just sell my badges and give them away. Are you kidding me? Those things are worth gold, your exhibitor's badges. Same for New York. But I have tons of guys hit me up. Hey, can I get there's Jesse in the comments. Can I get a New York badge? Yeah, for $800. What's it worth to you? Oh, I just want to get in and get the books. No,
we all do.
That shit, everybody does,
Yeah, and I do think that the retailers have done, for comics at least. The toys keep screwing it up, but it seems like, in my opinion. But for the comics, depending on, they've done better about having multiple releases and doing like one per day.
Yeah.
Or say 20 per day or 100 per day or 50 per day.
Yeah.
We had like all the Something's Killing the Children, all that stuff that Boom had, and they had other stuff that everybody was killing for. So there's a race to the booth, and basically you could count and know what you're going to get because they numbered it. And so the things that were super limited, you could do okay. Maybe you could get it, maybe you couldn't. But it is good to have a plan of attack, because there is stuff that you can make money on. It's definitely there. It'll definitely show up if you do enough homework.
Yeah, that's the important thing, is especially being on social media too, while you're there looking and seeing what's going on. But man, there's a lot of cool stuff that always just pulls me away from that mission,
Yeah. Well, you were saying earlier, Brian, that's why Facebook is such an important place. So if you, what I used to do is, and I don't do it anymore, I just don't have time, but I would actually have my wife would make a post about a week before the show, and she would say, "This is your wish list post or your claim post. So put in the comments on here, put the big old San Diego logo up there, and let all your buyers tell you what they want. They'll even say, at booth number 1287, this is an exclusive they're going to have from this time to this time at this place." And we always say, hey, if it says it's going to cost $55, that doesn't mean I'm charging you $55 for it. You can at least know I'm going to charge you double, straight up.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay double? Hey, then you get your ass over here and get it,
Yeah.
So that was huge for me because I would have my own buyers telling me where all the cool stuff is. And then people would comment underneath that picture, I want one, I want one, I want one, I want one. And then again, in the rules in the post, just be very specific, right? If you say you want something, I'm going to get you a copy and I'm going to charge you for it. So if you say I want one of these things that are $50, you're already pre-committing to paying $100 for one of these if you get it.
Yeah.
And then it's almost you have a pre-made list of stuff. That was huge for me. That's how you're able to go there. Again, that's doing this kind of stuff at a high level, But yeah, having a Facebook group is super important for that kind of stuff. Otherwise you're just getting stuff and putting it on eBay with everybody else, and having a private list of buyers is super important.
Do you, Big Leg? Do you go after the non-comic stuff?
I do, depending on what it's going to take to carry and ship these items, because you gotta, if it's not, any single comic I buy, we all know what it's going to cost us to ship, right? Like if they want it fast, you're $8 for a legal envelope or something like that, right? No big deal. A slab, depending where in the country, from California, you're looking at $10 to $15, whatever the hell, right? Easy. The toys, man, you don't know. That's why doing the PowerCon. If you've seen the comments when 78 Points was commenting on it, PowerCon started making their things like print to order, and then they didn't have to show up at the show, but you get it first if you're at the show because they didn't ship till the next week. Like whoop-de-doo, And so I go to PowerCon just being Masters of the Universe guy. But so you always got to take into account the shipping, the markup with the shipping, because the markup with the shipping could be just extraordinary for the toys. You might have to buy boxes. You might not have it all set up. If you don't have a store and you're just a guy, or a little team or something like that, you might be looking at another, $2 in cardboard. Then you've got the padding. Then it's got to be padded, and it depends how fragile something is. So yeah, I definitely will if it's something that I find somewhat easy, or that I know that, like you said, like a good Hallmark would be double of what it is, depending on what you're gonna, what you're gonna do and what your time is worth. Yeah, some 10 for 20 is not meant worth your money, but 50 for 100 probably is.
No, you're right, bro. On that one, another point of that is you can only carry so much shit.
Yeah.
You unless you have a booth of a buddy you can stash some stuff at, and even then, they're gonna look at you eventually of like, get your shit out of here, man. I'm trying to have a con, and you're piling up a bunch of Hasbro stuff, and then like you said too, shown the boxes are damaged, because if someone's gonna pay you $400 for a toy, that box better be in 9/8 condition. So you got to carry it around super careful. So if you're just a normal human going again, and you can't carry 15 boxes on you, you don't have an army of people that can run back to your car and drop shit off left and right, then Comix is the way to go. Just get yourself a good beefy backpack, maybe two, maybe a wheelie bag, depending on how crowded the con is, and just go for Comix, man. offer your buyers stuff too, man. Put in a free top loader. It's going to cost you what, $3? And the fact that you're putting in a top loader, that they appreciate it. Make yourself a little thank you note that says, "Thank you for buying from my San Diego 2023 experience." Costs you nothing, man, to print that stuff up. Now they treat it like a COA. Oh man, I got Bryan's little thank you slip from going to the show. That's super cool, man. Sign it. It's like a specialized thank you card. There's so many little things you can do to build up your loyalty. Now they're gonna ask you, "Thanks, man. Are you going to New York? Are you going to go to MegaCon? What other cons you going to?" If you want to build a life of a con flipper, that's how that's how you do it.
Well, also I think it's very important. People need to realize that there's that saying out there that if you can get so many like what is like 1,000 fans, that always rock with you. You're going to be able to, make a decent living off this stuff because they'll buy whatever you do. And it's so important to create that community by doing the stuff you're talking about, the little stuff. How many people do we talk to all the time that, tell us about a retailer because of how much they love how that retailer treats them, right? Your customer is always, you always have to treat your customer right because you can make a lifelong customer out of that person.
So check this out. If you, how many of you guys say you spend $2,000 a year on collectible stuff?
Yeah,
a year.
Us,
easy. If you have 100, all you need is 100. Let me say this: you need 100 loyal buyers that'll spend $2,000 a year with you. That's $200,000 a year. If you're operating at a 50% margin, you have yourself a $100,000 a year job.
Yep.
And all your travel's tax deductible. If you know you do your taxes right, get an accountant. All you need is 100 loyal buyers, man. That's not, you could cultivate that. Now remember, you always need to replace new ones with old ones because people come and go in this hobby. But there's always new people all the time. You can always cultivate stuff. You can have yourself some nice stuff for your own to keep. You can make yourself a very nice living, making 6 figures a year. Just doing what you love.
And that's what it's been for so many of us that have been, are eBay generation, let's put it that way, where we'll go somewhere and you'll see a wall book price and we're like, shit, like I can, why would I ever pay that? I feel like I know what the market is and I know the areas to buy that thing online. Where there's people, I know this is going away, but like I'd have these old school dealers come buy stuff from me because they got guys that are going to pay double because they've trusted them forever, and that's it. Like this guy he shows up 2 times a year. He only buys from me. So this is all buy. I'm like, okay, we're paying full price. They're like, I'll get it. So just same thing like you said. Loyal customers that only want to look at a few different people and a few different trusted outlets, or people that can trust you online but don't trust anybody else online.
Yeah,
trust random eBay people online for a better price.
That's
I've sold and then the people like selling on Whatnot, and I don't know how many followers I have on Whatnot, but I've done tons of, I haven't sold in a long time, but done tons of sales. People, why did you overpay for that? I said, well, you know what your shipping you're going to get from me. I just told you the real grade, right? I'm not over here showing you the front and back. I'm over here telling you how it's graded. You can see my eBay, you can see my Instagram, you can see everything. Transparent on everything I do. Keep the same customers. So if you're gonna pay $50 for somebody off eBay, or $70 to someone that forever, that's like, this is 9.6, 9.8. I'll pay more. I'll pay more to the people who's grading I trust. No problem.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why I've never had any problems buying off my comic shop.
Well, there are some pretty interesting exclusives that are going to be available this year. Some of the ones that I did see that I thought were interesting were, this is a little toy that is going to be a convention exclusive this year from Toynami. This is one of the ones that they're going to be releasing. I think that's a pretty cool little pickup if you can get it for cheap. I'm not sure how much it is, but they're also doing these Macross toys. And you guys know how big Robotech and Macross stuff is, so that might be something worth looking at. Hasbro is doing their 6-inch Chrysanthemum figure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
and hopefully that'll be when we say exclusive, that'll actually be one. That might be a good. That's already actually on my list.
Yep. This is the DC exclusives. I only like the Batman 655 blank. I'm going to try to get as many of those as possible, but they're also doing this McFarlane gold label Batman Nightfall 30th anniversary figure. So
if that's a true exclusive, that'll be one to definitely go after.
Yeah. These are kind of cool. It's got the Heath Ledger Joker bank robber guy and a Bane figure. There's a
Take control.
Yeah, look at that Heath Ledger figure. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
like
ghost. What is that? I don't know what that is. This is another. Is that Alan Scott Green Lantern right there? That's pretty crazy.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, that's badass. So the figures, man, look at that. That's a Superman 85th anniversary edition figure from McFarlane. The figures to me are really hitting it pretty well this year compared to the comics. There's not as many. Look at what DC's doing for exclusives. They're just all reprints. And to me, the only one that looks worth grabbing is the Batman 655 because, you know, you can get so many cool Damian sketches on that. And it being a San Diego exclusive, I would fill that with Damian sketches while I'm there. So
I'd probably grab the 655s also.
Yeah. This is cool. I know, Sean, you're a big supporter of this company, the Results Company. Roosevelt's company. I didn't know. I never really. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite one that they show. They did
that's pretty cool, man.
Kevin Smith stuff too. Check out their real website. I've got the odds of you guys not seeing me in a Roosevelt shirt at one of the parties is pretty low.
Yeah.
I want to get their TMT one where it's the bed sheet.
Yeah.
But like
old school.
I like this Batman also. Yeah.
I mean, they just
they have. I think they're doing a DC booth and they're doing a Star Wars booth, and they have exclusive shirt each day, which I hope they don't show online. I think they've been pretty good before about not putting them online. I don't know if that barrel bat. It just depends. It depends.
This to me is the coolest one. The figure one.
Figure it out. Barrel Batman's a good summer shirt.
Yeah.
The other one's a little. Yeah, I don't know about it. Mace Windu.
This is cool. Check this out. This is from Mondo, you guys. Look at
Mondo.
this.
Oh,
yeah.
Bro.
This is a screen printed
printed poster.
Yeah, 24 by 36. It's $80, but it's the splash page from Barry Windsor Smith, and it's badass, dude. Like the black light posters.
I'd frame it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one of these up for 100. If I can grab one of these, I'm definitely gonna grab one of these. They're $80. They're also doing a couple more. This one's not too bad. The Cowboy Bebop. That one's kind of cool. This one's kind of cool. They're doing the X-Men #2 cover, and then they're doing the Spider-Man 2099 cover. But to me, that Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah, that's not close to me.
So
it's just so iconic.
Yeah, that one's kind of cool. Cowboy Bebop, Moon Knight. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. So Mondo, look at that, dude. That's awesome. The online one's better than the booth one. I might have to get that. That's pretty interesting.
The Zombie Magneto? Is that what that
was? No, it's just Magneto from issue number 2.
I wonder what that alternate head is, though. That alternate head.
Yeah, with all black. That's kind of cool.
Is that Mesco Toys or something?
Yeah. No, Mondo. It's Mondo.
Mondo. Okay. Yeah.
And then they got this. I don't know what that is. It's crazy. A He-Man figure, it looks like. Prince. Yeah.
The laughing
Prince Adam. Giggly awesome. Prince Adam.
Yeah. From the meme, right? Is that the meme?
I don't know.
I think that's from the meme.
My name is Indingo Montoya. To kill my father. Prepare to die.
You got all the vinyls. There's that sweet Dr. Doom Bots. That's awesome. But yeah, Mondo's going to be there, so that's cool. There you go. They got
They always have a lot. The problem is Mondo's fucking impossible.
Yeah, I agree.
When you run back, there's already there. Mondo's. Yeah, it's impossible. So everybody stay away.
This is from Mattel. They have this special Steven Spielberg Jurassic Park figure. So that might be, yeah.
Huh.
That might be a big buy right there. Like a resale buy, I mean. People love Jurassic Park toys. They love these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that have these exclusive packaging. And it's Spielberg. That's a big deal. So probably trying to grab that. I like this. This is from Han Cholo. They do these. Yeah. And they do this jewelry, and this is the one that's the coolest. It's a Voltron one.
That skateboard right there is Han Solo. The Skeletor shaped board.
Oh, behind you? Nice.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
The jewelry's super cool. I'm a big jewelry guy, but I don't know if I can pass up on a fucking
a Voltron. Yeah, right?
Dude, just go with $50 pen. It's probably they're usually pretty small, but he makes some of the sickest jewelry.
Yeah.
Does a lot of Masters of the Universe stuff too.
There's the hoverboard. And they've got a little Jurassic Park egg. And then a Universal Monsters Till Death Do Us Part necklace pendant, which is kind of cool. But check this out. Shout out to Distillery and the Devil's Cut. These books are being talked about pretty heavily behind the scenes. So shout out to everything they're doing over there. And they're going to have these early release jock covers. So I know that these are going to be big time sellers on the secondary market. So I would suggest if you can grab one of these, it might be worth grabbing because they're selling on the secondary already. Check out this Zenoscope Carla Cohen.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
That is amazing.
Mama!
Yeah.
I got to give him props for that.
Yeah.
My
Holy
God.
cow. Yeah.
Somebody call the cops, bro.
Carla did a great job on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's amazing, man. Holy cow.
She's really cool to meet, too, if you ever get a chance.
Oh, she's going to be there this year, right? I think so.
Yeah, her and Lucio are going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and
First time in the States in like
how about the
3
guests
years.
at Hive?
Yeah. Yeah. Are they going to... Well, I know Frizen's going to be at Hive. Is Carla Cohen going to be there?
No.
It's Jolie Jones.
Oh, okay.
They're with some like movie producing company that's promoting a movie.
Oh, wow.
Lucio and Carla. Yeah, their social media has where they're going to be at.
Okay. I'm definitely going to try and grab this for sure. And then these are
her commissions are pretty cheap as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Creature Bazaar San Diego exclusives. These are, I guess, posters, foil posters they're doing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. So they're 24 by 36 screen prints, and you can get those too by them. And then Alex Pardee, of course, that's my first stop. I got to get these. I got to buy everything he's got there probably. Look at this, bro. Are you kidding me?
These are great. He's doing the fucking
Are
face.
you kidding me,
That's
dude?
badass.
That is sick. What do you write on there?
It says hug face.
Hug face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I got to get a bunch of those.
Pretty cool.
He's always got the same
toy.
booth against the wall too.
Yeah.
With all his bright mirrors.
Yeah.
Doppelgangers.
Shirts. The Grimace.
You can check his site though, dude, because you can pre-order some of his shirts.
Okay.
I don't know what else, but I saw
Garbage
some
Pail
of,
Kid stuff.
I would doubt it, but I don't know.
Man,
I just he only brings like. So
dude, he's
much.
only selling 2 per customer per day. They're $75 a piece for these.
Wow.
You'll do fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Limited to 300.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna grab as many.
Do you think it's gonna sell out the first day?
Yeah.
We won't sell them all. We probably won't sell them all the first day.
No.
He sold some on preview.
Oh, okay.
Two per customer per day. So depends how many customers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his crowd is growing.
It's hard for six at his sweeping line a couple of times though.
Yeah. So here's how you tell if it's just search. You guys know the drill. Search eBay for SDCC 2023, and if those come up as pre-sold for a lot of money,
for sold, it goes right on the list.
Yeah,
they're going to sell out. If it's not on eBay, then don't even bother. If it is, they're going to be gone.
This is Hasbro's Transformers Legacy Evolution War Dawns exclusives. So you get the RC figure. These are going to be available. Transformers exclusives. You know those will probably sell. So that's basically just most of the stuff that I noticed that were there that I thought were kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I kind of said it earlier, but like we just also check online to see what is exclusive and what is not exclusive, right? Like if Hasbro, if that stuff is going to be on their SDC release website on the same day, then there is absolutely no point in buying that shit unless obviously you just want it. Like I got a little Ghost Rider with the Marvel Spotlight file last year, and So I'll buy it because I'm here. But I was kind of sad that they dropped it online. So
yeah. I sent you that list, Leg, just so you have it. So for the next couple days.
I'll show you. I'll give you a link to my spreadsheet. It's got links to all the different sites on there. Yeah,
good.
I'm still going.
Hey,
I was getting nervous about the IDW SDCC exclusives.
Well, they're only letting they're only the ones that they're putting on their webpage are different than the ones that are at the con. So they're doing exclusives to the webpage and then exclusives to the con this year, which is interesting.
Hey, I got to give a shout out real quick. So,
all right,
Trish Forsner, she's an awesome artist. She drew Doggy for me, bro.
Oh,
who's that?
Awesome.
Trish?
Yeah, that's
beautiful,
Trish.
bro.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's great art.
She did a Dalmatian for you. That's badass.
Yeah, I had 2 Dalmatians. I had to put them down in 2012 and 2013, and they lived a long life. And they were fucking spoiled. But this is like a combination of both of them. So
that's awesome.
I hit her up, and yeah, man, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's super cool. She's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to she's
Tony. I'm sure he'll be there.
Yeah, Tony's going to be there. Is Trish going to be? I think Trish is going to be there, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a very
Trish
interesting.
dog, man.
It's going to be a very interesting year this year. That's for sure. It's going to be a cool little setup. I plan on, depending on how I'm getting out there this year, either bring my PC or my laptop. If I'm able to bring my PC, I'll set it up for a little streaming area, and anybody that wants to stop by the pad can stop in and say hello to the streaming people. I know a lot of people are going to be selling live from the show, so I imagine that'll be a thing too. But my plan is just to hang out with as many people as possible and chill and enjoy the 75-degree weather rather than the 112 it is out here right now.
Yeah, it's 100. It's supposed to be 112 by Saturday here.
Yeah.
So I'm going down to a 90-degree place to cool off, and then by Wednesday we'll be in the greatest weather in the whole world.
Yep. Amen. So that's basically the show for tonight, you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody that hung out. We're going to go and read comments from the last episode before we call it a night, but make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you guys want to hang out after the show, we'll be hanging out in the Discord for a little bit. So you guys can come shoot the shit with us in there in the after show lounge. And then, of course, tomorrow night, Bogcast live. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about a lot of blue-haired people. And then also Friday night, House of Stein. And then, of course, Saturday night, Modern Comic Mayhem. We are going to have a great comic book drama alert segment that night. It is growing with stories by the day. And we'll also have a lot of great IG art to talk about as well. Yes. So you gotta love the comic book drama alert segment that people love to hate right now. But we'll keep rolling. If you don't want to be on comic book drama alert, just don't do something stupid. That's kind of the bottom line, right? So.
Don't drop an AI cover, dude. You're good.
Oh, I still want to know what drama I caused with Lord of Brooklyn. I watched the rewind. I saw what's up.
What, is somebody calling you out, Yee?
No.
I don't know what I did.
No.
Did you tell him to go? No,
I wasn't on the air, so.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
So, shout out to Shane. He says, amazing show as always, Legends. The Wolverine suit looks fake. His claws are coming out of the wrist guards from his hands. Looks AI generated. AI struggles to achieve the complexity of hand anatomy, so maybe it was a workaround by placing it on the wrist guards. Maybe totally wrong. There we go. Talking about AI art again. It's the big topic.
It's real, though, because there's like 10 more pictures that leaked.
Yeah.
So I understand his point, though. That picture did look a little bunk.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were talking about that first one.
Yeah, he's talking about the first one.
Without
without Deadpool in the picture with him.
Mr. Vanguard said, love the show, fellas. Many thanks. Thank yous, brother. And then Real Fake Comics says, great show at Red Hood. Ha 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 at 22 minutes. And then Raider Nation says, I live in Middletown, Ohio, between Dayton and Cincinnati. I'm a Raider Nation because of my son. Anyways, all around sports are getting exciting here. Good show, guys. Keep up the good work. There you go, Leg. Another.
I wonder what was.
I wasn't even on the show.
No, he knew we were going to talk about it with you on the show tonight. So,
what's that? 22 minutes, Brian.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
What show was that? Last Wednesday?
Yeah, last Saturday's show where we were talking about the AI drama art with Blood Night Haven. So
you guys hating on the Raiders without me? Huh?
No.
Yeah, the big thing for me was like Reggie Collects saying that he couldn't understand how these books that were in Spanish or that he couldn't understand were a thing, and like if they're not in English, he can't read them, and he just didn't understand that they were reprints and how could they be worth money. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, you've been in comics for a long time. Like, you're not fooling me. You're just trying to build content, right? So you're going to get people all wound up.
As long as
what
you're
the hell
are
you talking about? You know what? So let's say this, Brian. Variants are shit. They're not worth anything, and cover A's is what it's all about. Unless somebody wants to come out from the community and talk me out of it, I still think cover A's are the real cover, and every other cover is stupid. That I just collect the first cover.
Sure you do.
And second prints and the newsstand, that's all garbage. Unless somebody wants to come talk me out of it. And then the next YouTube show, Brian or
oh, by the way, I just got back to the submission from CGC.
Yeah,
full
no
of
kidding.
second prints.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Well, Hood.
So like, I mean, just like,
hey, Hood.
That pissed me off.
Hey, Hood. I love you, bro.
I love it too, man.
All right. That being said, yeah, much love. Make sure you guys. I don't need to say go check out Comics Elite social media and stuff because you guys are already probably doing it. But if you're not, make sure you go check out Comics Elite. Follow Sean's Facebook page. Say hello to him on Facebook too. You guys can catch some great information over there. And say hello to him if you're in the area. Where can they come in and say hello to you in shop, or do you have your shop open to the public?
The shop is open to the public. I work at the second warehouse where we have the website is based and where the Whatnot sales take place. But guys, I'm open to hit me up on Facebook, man. I'm pretty easy. I try to reply to everybody that messages me. I get a lot of messages. They get buried. I'm not hard to find, man. I'm around.
Hell yeah. And thank you for coming on, dude.
See if you'll message me back.
Do it.
Or
thanks
just
for
run
coming
into
on,
him at a
brother.
con.
Just don't send me any dick pics.
Yes.
No, man,
None of
I don't do
those.
that anymore.
Not anymore.
Bad experience.
With that being said, don't worry, guys. We're going to get Sean on the show more often, and you guys are always going to see these guys. We'll see you next time. Adios.